Greetings. I'm about to check that the sound is nice and clear. One moment. Oh, okay, we have K. Davis Bai who will clear. Thank you for letting me know. I don't recall seeing your username before. Thank you for being here. Feel free if you have any questions or comments. Now, still want to hear it from my end. Still want to hear it from my end. That's lovely. That's beautiful. It's been a long time, brothers and sisters. Now, he told us, I presume it's a he. No, I subscribed a while back. Okay, it was great. That's great. What made you subscribe? Which video made you subscribe? Catherine. Oh, it's a sister. Wow, a lady. Welcome. It's been a long time, brothers and sisters. I did not go live. Actually, my last live stream was November 8th. And today is December 25, 2021. So it's been close to 2 months that I did not go live. So it will be good to hear from you all, to find out how you're doing, to find out what's good, what's popping. Feel free to, just come and say hello. If you have questions, feel free. If you have statements to make, feel free. I have already shared the call-in link or link to participate. It is pinned, so it is at the top. But let's just share it now, just in case. Oh no, my bad, wrong link. Oh, deleting that one. It's the wrong one. Hold on. There. Okay. I've been on TikTok lately, and there's something else over there. TikTok is really popping. There you go. I've shared the link to participate. Feel free. Let me hear from you all. Catherine, I've seen the video came out in my art. That's the video I am the most proud of. So that's the one I primarily recommend. Don't be shy, brothers and sisters. Let me know what's on your mind. Let me know what's popping. Let me know what's good. It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. Come on in, brothers and sisters. You know how I get down. If you don't know, I'm letting you know right now. When there's no participation, then I put an end to it. Why would I stay there if it's not popping? If there's no interaction? I'll leave it a little bit of time because it's been 5 minutes, minus the 2 minutes or so of the intro. So we'll see. How was Saturnalia so far for you all? For those that celebrated. Well, if it's like that, it means I made a good decision by stopping the live stream. That's all good. Now, Catherine says, I don't know. Really, I just saw you going live and joined in to see what you're talking about. Okay, I see. All right, it's all good. So not really celebrating, just a nice family day. It's an opportunity to be with the family. I was with the family yesterday. But I don't celebrate. So for those who don't know, because it's been a while, I haven't been live streaming. I deal mainly with Black/African issues, and I have a preference for Kemet or ancient Egypt. I'm not a Pan African because Pan African is different races and pedophiles. So I don't celebrate Kwanzaa because some of you are probably celebrating that fake holiday, which is plagiarized from Hanukkah. So basically, you're celebrating the Jewish holiday Hanukkah. So you're still doing something Abrahamic. And besides, Quran got told to a black woman. So if you want to follow that, then more power to you, like they say. So every now and then I deal with languages as well. And one of my hobby is the Medunecher or the hieroglyphic. I have actually been giving lessons for quite some time now. And for those who are interested, then you should have all the details on my channel. Some of you speak any foreign language, let me know. It was a time when it was really popping when I would go live. I don't know what happened, but it is what it is. I've had Asiatic Lion who wrote Hotep Shaka a long time. Yes, long time. Close to 2 months. Catherine only speaks English, so it's all good. It's never too late to learn. Brothers and sisters, come on in. Come on in. Come and say what's up. If you have questions, feel free. If you have statements, feel free. Oh, it looks like our brother from Bahamas.
Bermuda.
Hotel brother, you called him before, didn't you?
One time, but not the Bahamas.
Bermuda?
Correct.
Yes. Nice.
Correct. Not the
Brother.
Bahamas. Yeah, it's a interesting common mistake that people make.
Hmm.
Interesting. Can you hear me all right?
Very nice and clear.
All right. Good. Because I don't know. So yeah. So I'm just see you come back on. I'm looking to see if you was around for a while, but you ain't been on for a minute, type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said you did some TikTok things. I'm on TikTok, but I'm not really going there that hard still.
Hmm.
So how you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. Yes, I was on TikTok because I don't know what's going on in YouTube, but it is what it is. Back then, I will upload videos. I will get like 100 to 100 views or so. Sorry, the weather change got me, and
Uh,
so on. But lately, when I'm uploading, I get like 50 views and even less than that. But on TikTok, uh, when I upload videos, I get hundreds of views, thousands of views. Some videos have like 10,000 views. So I'm sorry. Damn. So yeah, I've been uploading a lot over there.
so you get more viewership on TikTok there.
Oh, way more. Like
Uh,
10 times more.
I gotta plug into you. How long are your how long is your stuff over there now? You do live stuff?
Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, more health to you still,
Sorry about this, brother. Yeah. I've been going live on TikTok. You need 10. You need 1,000 subscribers before you can go live, and I've reached 1,000 subscribers like a few days ago.
Uh-huh.
So, but when it comes to the live stream, people just come and go. We don't really stay like that.
All right. No worries. I'm just, that's what I mean. I'll just look for you over there and see if I can find you still.
Oh yeah, it's my art forever. Just like on YouTube.
All right, cool. So, what type of weather change then you're talking about?
Oh yeah, yeah. Where you are, it doesn't really change, but the winter thing, like the temperature really dropped. Um, it, for a few days, it was like -2 degrees Celsius.
No, you can't do that to me, see. You can't do that to me, see. We don't do Celsius over here. We do Fahrenheit.
Okay, let me see. So can I?
So you have to make that conversion. My daughter's up in England right now. She's doing the Celsius thing, but
Mm. Oh,
over her
28
was
Fahrenheit. 28 degrees Fahrenheit.
28 degrees, huh?
Yes. So, but now it went a little bit up. Like it's more like let's say now it's more like 46, something
Okay,
like that.
46.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that's not bad, but we don't normally get into this type of temperatures here.
Mm.
Yeah,
But
if you get into anything, we get maybe close to 50,
mm,
which given relatively speaking is not good at all.
well, I went to Spain. I went to another museum, and it was like 55. And when I went to, it was December 2009. Oh, actually November 2009. I went to Haiti. Then I spent December in Florida. I don't recall the weather, but that was like, yeah, that was like 10, 11 years ago. But in Spain, having that, 55 degrees Fahrenheit, that was just so lovely. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. And I wish I can spend my winters, with that type of weather because, it felt so good. Oh my goodness.
55. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I don't know what the temperature is out right now around here, but it's not bad at all, to be quite honest.
Mm.
It's not bad. So I don't know, but I don't have to put on a coat if I don't want.
Yeah, and that's like, besides that time 10 years, 11 years ago, that's the first time in my life that I'm outside. I don't need a coat, and it's lovely. I was a bit disappointed with the museum because they don't have that much when it comes to
But
Kemet, and the Near East section was closed down. So
see,
I guess I have to go back over there to
right.
at least catch what they have about the Near East. But it was good. It was good to go with the family. I still got a little some. So this will come later. I have a few actually. I have some from Italy, some from France, some from Denmark,
Mm.
and from Spain as well. But I don't really want to put them on now because, like I was saying earlier, when I put videos up on YouTube, I barely get like 50 views. So
Yep.
I feel like I'm gonna waste those videos. So
But I've
I'm
been wondering
waiting.
about that. I've been
Mm,
wondering about that because I know how you've been feeling and but the
mm,
atmosphere. So I hadn't seen you, but I see
mm,
you're still doing things. So I've been curious about that. I see
mm.
you putting up some stuff in French as well. So that's very interesting.
Oh yes,
But
yes, those, yeah.
but the weather right now is the temperature 67.
67.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. So it's not bad. It's not too bad.
My
It's,
goodness. That's like weather. Sorry, summer weather for us. You
well,
know.
it's a bit. It can be a bit cool, but it's not bad. Like I said, I don't. If the sun's out right now, so I don't have to put on a shirt or anything right now. It never gets too that cool, really. So it's not bad at all. I mean, and the problem is like right now, if this COVID thing is not being it's not being good to us right now.
Mm.
So we're back on a curfew from 12:30 to about 5 in the morning. So yeah,
Oh, well,
it's
we,
a bit
we, we,
crazy.
we we don't have the curfew, but I remember when we had it, it was really inconvenient. Now they're really about that vaccination thing. Like, uh, people who are not vaccinated were not able to do much. So
Oh
the
yeah,
only option they will have really is to stay at home.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
interesting medical apartheid stuff happening right now.
Hmm.
Very interesting. And not that it's limited, mind you, to who's not taking it, but very interesting dynamics. I think is playing out with this COVID thing.
Hmm.
I'm not feeling it at all. But then again, for me, it's more of the same. So I don't look at it anything different. In other words, the system itself has not been altered. Yeah. So for me, if the system itself has not been altered, that means that this is part of the system that we're living under. So that type of regime, which brings me to a question because you mentioned Spain,
Hmm.
and it's just something that's coming to mind. Because you know about the Moors, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, you know about the Moors.
Hmm.
And recently, I've been looking at this subject and having discussion with people. There's been a little thing around a little while, but all of a sudden it hit me. It struck me as something very significant. Because they talk about the Moors is very big on admiralty law. Yes,
Which type of law?
admiralty.
Oh, I don't know
You
that
know the
that
term
term.
admiralty law,
No, can you spell that for me?
admiral, like the rule of the seas, commander, like charge of fleets.
Oh, admiral.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
So you know the term,
yeah,
but you know
yeah. Admiral actually derives from Arabic.
slow down before we get there.
Mm.
I got you, but slow before we get there. Right now, and especially if you go to America and check the Moorish brothers over there, always talking about law, right? Got to know the law. You got to have to know the law. But they always talk about admiralty law. Yes, sea law,
Hmm.
right? Law of the sea. So this is what they want to stand by. True. Now, why is that?
Well, when it comes to the Moors, I had a look for Moorish Museum. There's one. There's one that is like kind of far away from the capital. Actually, I took note of it. So maybe when I go there driving, I might get there. Hold on. If I put more, uh, there's one in Saya Longa. Saya Longa. It's a Moorish Museum of Saya Longa. So when I get a chance, I want to go over there. But when it comes to the Moors, as far as I'm concerned, those are Muslim people who rule parts of Europe. But in America, our brothers to talk about, the Moors as if, black people came in and ruled Europe. Now, there was some black people amongst the army of the Muslims, but that's about it. Just like in America, you have, some black people who are part of the U.S. Army. So you can find black people in Iraq, Afghanistan, and other parts of the world. Now, why they are dealing with the sea law so much, I don't really recall hearing them speaking that much about sea law, but law in general. They talk about the black laws dictionary and stuff like that. But they feel like they are descendants of those Moroccans who did treaty with America. So they talk about law in general. So it's not surprising to me that they will deal with the sea law. They like to talk a lot about treaties and UCC this and that and corporation and America not being a country but a corporation. A lot of them are really deal with the law. Like they talk about the difference between names and titles, and things like that. So talking about jurisdiction, Um, but I think if they talk about any admiral law, sea law, any type of law in general, is because that's one of their thing. I don't want to say specialty, but one of the things that they are adamant about.
So, have you thought about what do you know about the Danish involvement in corporations? Because you mentioned just now about America being a corporation that they're talking about. What do you know about the Dutch?
Not much, not much.
Mm, mm,
But now, America being a corporation, it's not something that I am claiming. I hear more say that, and other people as well who are not Moors. I hear sometimes people say that.
mm,
And the biggest thing, the Moors they like to talk about law, so they like to talk about nationality. So they like to claim that Moorish is a nationality. When,
yes.
when, when really it is not. It is not because I had an exchange with one guy who claims to be a Moor for a long time. He claimed to be like a very knowledgeable Moor and so on. And I just asked him if he had a passport. He said yes. I asked him what is written in the nationality field of his passport. He said Moor. And I asked him if you can show and prove that, he said, yes, absolutely. And after that, I was slandered because that doesn't exist. There's no passport in America where it says field, I'm sorry, where it says Moor or Moorish in the nationality field. In the nationality field, it says United States of America. That's what it says for US citizens.
So when he said he lied.
He lied this. And because he was
Okay.
mad because he was caught lying live on the air, then I was slandered big time. And
Slandered.
oh, yes, yes.
No,
Yeah,
no, 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 no. No. Don't
mm,
get me wrong. Don't get me
mm,
wrong. I understand that. That's what I'm saying. This part of the system because when you tell the truth, you get slandered. But
mm.
the truth is always like promoted as a lie, and the lie is always promoted as the truth,
Hmm.
which is interesting. But like, and that brings me to the term. So what does more mean?
Oh well, that question. People say so many things about it. In Golden Age of the Moor, or the Golden Age of the Moor, there was an article. I probably have a video quoting that fact.
That's Ivan Van Sertima,
But
yeah.
yes, indeed,
Yeah,
edited by
actually,
Ivan
I've
Van
just gotten
Sertima.
that book. I'm just getting through it right now,
Hmm.
actually. So
Indeed, and I think it's a Runoko Rashidi article. But Moor kind of made different things at different time because with the term Moor, we have Mori, like something will be spelled like M-A-O. I'm sorry, Maure. I'm sorry, not E-I. That's the French coming. In French, the letter you call I, we call it E. Now,
okay,
M
makes
A
sense.
U R I, and it will be to describe some people, if I'm not mistaken, from the area of like Mauritania, or I don't really know for sure, but I think before that we have Moros, which might have been Greek. So
What do they
it's
mean?
well, let me see if I can find that video.
But let me say, I do a lot of reading, a lot of studying, I
Oh,
do a lot
actually,
of writing.
actually, actually, I
So,
think I think I have the book actually. Yes,
have
go
you
ahead, brother. Go ahead.
which book? Which book? Golden Age of the More. You mean?
Yes.
Cool. So do you know about this book called what the heck is it? Uh, Let me see. There it is. Uh, this.
Hold on. Please, can you show it again, please?
I'm sorry.
Ancient and modern Britons. No, I haven't heard about this. Um, no, I haven't heard about this one.
This is a book that but you've heard J. Rogers, yes?
Oh yes, yes.
And this is the book that Jay Rogers used to love for his work. Quotes it quite often. Nature Nurse and the Color Line, and books like that there. Um, but that book is a very interesting book. Um, um, so I'm using this book because he goes into the word, the meaning of the word, the usage of the word, yeah, which must have to be going into to actually get a sense of the meaning of words, because words, as you said, could vary, yeah, words vary for at different times
A
for
different time
different
indeed.
peoples,
Yes. Hmm.
but the origin of a word means a lot. The use of the word means a lot. Why it's used, you know, because although words change its usage, it never changes its meaning. Yeah, and it could change very, very, very often. They do. So, like, if you take the word nice, right? I use this like I do a class, but I use this in a class, and I use two words, nice and silly. And if I ask a person which one would they use to describe themselves, they normally would choose the word nice. But that's a problem because when I ask them why they choose it, they always go for definition, not with the meaning. And yes, as a Frenchman, I'm gonna say this, but when I say Frenchman, I'm sorry. I know that you come from Haiti, yes?
Indeed.
All right, that's up to that. So, but in French, nice means what?
Well, we don't have the word nice, but we have
Ah,
a town called Nice.
that is true.
Yes.
But in English, the word nice is a French derivation. Yes.
Really? I didn't even know that. Dang. Never knew it.
You just said something about Maury, and I like the fact that you said I instead of I, but I is E. It's that's fascinating to me.
Actually, I have found the page, so I'm going to quote it. I'll
Go,
put it up
go
on the
ahead.
screen. But I'm curious now about the etymology of the word nice. So, oh yes, from Old French, uh, nice, careless, clumsy, weak, poor, needy, simple, stupid, silly, foolish. All right, which comes from Latin nescius, ignorant, unaware, literally not knowing. Well, I've learned something today.
You see, I taught a French. I taught somebody who speaks French about French.
Yes, and that's lovely because we can all learn from anybody, from
Ah,
older people,
listen,
younger people. Hmm.
I have a class I call
Hmm.
it African science, right? It doesn't mean from Africa. It's about Africa is the global presence of African people, and hence science means to know. Yes, so it's
Hmm.
knowledge about the global African peoples. That's what I deal with. Yes.
Hmm.
So in this class, I started out with the thought that, and this reason why I did is that we know a lot, yet we know very little about the lot that we know. Yeah, in the world that we live in.
Hmm.
Yes.
and
So
and
I
it
say
Mhm. Go ahead, buddy.
receiving correct information inculcates correct knowledge, which generates correct thinking, which produces correct action. You understand? This is the basis of why I do what I do. You understand?
Mm.
So, which brings me back into full circle. You just saying no about that's what I said about nice means not to know. But
Mm.
we overheard when we say nice in English, it means a good person, a kind person.
Mm.
But it
but
doesn't
but
mean that.
but there's a nuance. There's a nuance, however, because it means not to know in French. I haven't heard it being used. It's like all French.
I know.
But in English, it doesn't mean the same. You see,
I get it.
and
No, 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 no,
yes.
no.
Mm.
It's because
Mm.
of this how it's been used. It
Mm.
has evolved over time the way it's
Mhm.
been used. but the meaning hasn't changed. So the definition of it has changed
Mm-hmm.
because of how it's been used.
Yeah,
But the
the
meaning
definition
of
has
it has
changed.
never changed. Meaning
Mm-hmm.
of words don't change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yes,
the
even though
origin, yes.
the use of it may change. Like
Mm-hmm.
I had a person that I love very much tell me one time that more could be, what is this? Uh, more. I've got a son. I don't know where it's coming from. It's weird.
In the meantime, brothers and sisters, keep the
I'm
comments
sorry.
going. I will go through them later on.
So I'm sorry. So I was saying that languages, which I call slave languages, I call the language I speak a slave language. I don't speak. I just know any other language except the one that I speak. Yeah, but I try to understand because the language that I utilize comes about through a lot of other languages. Yeah.
Hmm.
So English is not English. English is like North German. Yes.
Yeah, just like yeah.
The word English is Northern German. It's literally Northern Germany. Yes.
Mm.
Literally, when you look, check the etymology because I have to look at etymology of words. Like that's very important to me. Like I said just now, you didn't realize that French, the nicest of is borrowed from the French, which
Mm.
is a compound of two Latin words.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, means not to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from one like the negative ni, Latin, and skill to know. Yeah, means not to know, to be ignorant. That's why
Mm-hmm.
they used to say a good Indian, a nice Indian is a dead Indian. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
a nice nigga is a, is a dead nigga. He'd be a good nigga. Nice, nice. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Ignorant, to be ignorant. But because we don't know that they know, we don't know, but they know. You understand what I'm saying? That's why we have to use this language that they know, that we don't know. So we know a lot, but we know very little about the lot that we know because mostly we just speak because that's what we've been taught to speak. But we don't analyze the things of which we are speaking. So hence, say what you mean and mean what you say is very difficult when you really don't know. You understand what I'm saying? So to be honest, we have to understand what we are saying rather than just say the words. So which gets me back to the point of where I say it because I was looking at, you mentioned Spain and I'm looking at the history of things. We're looking at the Moors because you said the Moors. You know the other work. You said the Golden Age of the Moors by Ivan Saddam, which has series of articles in there. But have you read Stanley Lane Poole's book? What is it called?
Well, I'm pretty sure
So
I haven't read that book because I'm not familiar with the author.
uh, this
No, I haven't read that one. No.
yeah, it's a very interesting book. This her.
Hmm.
Um,
Now,
um,
you see what I like with this book is the cover, the actual painting, because many Moors like to show us this
oh
kind of
yes,
painting, and they want us to believe that it shows Moorish kings. Now, there might be some sort of rulers, some sort of nobles or dignitaries, but when it comes to Moorish kings, I've asked the question before. Recently, I've asked someone who proclaims to be a Moor. He gave me two names, and I went to the Louvre Museum and showed the statue of one of those guys he talked about, like his father or his grandfather. And those people are white slash Caucasian slash European.
as they
But
say. Who are they?
what he said, Boabdil, and the other one I think he said Tashufing or something like that. But if people want to look for it on my YouTube account, if they type Ma'at Forever and Moorish Fair, they will see. I've put
Hmm.
that question and the answer from that Moorish guy, and then
Right.
I've put
We'll
the
put the
statue from the
evidence.
Louvre Museum. Yes, from the Louvre
Okay.
Museum. But you know what?
This.
Okay, yes, African no, that one I'm not familiar with that one.
Uh.
That's from
See. See.
Forward by John Henry Clark. Hmm.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, let me just
The author's one up above.
hmm, if you don't mind, let me just let's just go through the golden age of the Moor
Go ahead.
and how does it look? Okay, can make it larger. Now
Which
this is
page?
page 27, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh
Let me double check.
God. Oh,
Sorry.
oh God. I just reached. I
Yes,
just
yes.
reached.
Mhm.
Excuse me.
No problem, no problem.
I
I'm going
just
through the
recently
same
got
thing.
this book here. So what page you said that was?
27. 27. So as everybody can see, it says, oh,
Mm.
okay. It says The Moors in Antiquity by James E. Brunson and Runoko Rashidi. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, the Moors, as early as the Middle Ages and as late as the 17th century, were commonly supposed to be black and very swarthy, and hence the word is often used for Negro. There is considerable difficulty, however, in determining the ethnicity of the early Moors through terminology alone, indeed. There are several terms that have been used to identify the Moors. Arabic texts, for example, rarely use the word Moor and instead apply the term Berber, a word thought by some to be pejorative, to the early non Arab people of Northwest Africa. Now, before I continue, for those who are not familiar, the people of North Africa, the region of North Africa where the Arabic speaking people reside, this North African area is generally known as the Maghreb. Now, there's a term, don't think you have the same in English, but the term in French is maghrébin, which means people come from that area. So usually there's a distinction between those people from the Maghreb and the rest of Africa. The rest of Africa is generally defined to as either Africa period or sub-Saharan Africa. So the North Africans, they are not black skinned. They are just like the people from the Middle East and so on. And indeed, those people are Berbers. Many today refer to themselves as Arabs, but really they don't know. Some of them still follow their traditions, spirituality slash religion, and so on. But of course, the majority of the North Africa is just Muslim. So some Arabs don't really consider the North African as much because they know that uh, they are not Arabs. So that was just for the record. So, and when not employing that term, they utilize the clan names of the Berbers themselves. In addition, early Christian sources often apply the term Saracen. Well, in English you say Saracen. Well, in French you say Sarrazin. In English you say Saracen indiscriminately to Muslim populations in general, including the Moors. Now, hold on. I don't know why this thing is. There it is. The term Moor. Although scholars generally agree that the word Moor is derived from Mauri, Mauri, there are profound disagreements on what the word originally meant and how it was applied. Philip K. Hitti contends that the term Moor has a geographic designation meaning Western. Hitti, the author of the comprehensive History of the Arabs, writes that the Romans called Western Africa Mauritania and its inhabitants Mori, presumably of Phoenician origin meaning Western, whence Spanish Moro and the English Moor. The Berbers, therefore, were the Moors proper, but the term was conventionally applied to all Muslims of Spain and northwestern Africa.
Okay, slow.
Yes, brother? Go ahead.
I'm listening to you. Got that on read.
Oh, okay, okay,
Am I hearing backwards? Might have been an echo.
okay. All
Yeah,
right,
I'm hearing an echo now. I don't know why. Something happened.
okay. Well, let me carry on. Now, using Greek and Roman sources.
No, 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 no. I don't. I need to go. I don't. I have to stop you now.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
But I gotta somehow stop this echo though. I don't know what happened. Um, um,
Well, what you can do.
no, 1 second. You're at the point where I have a discrepancy with what you said Phoenician means. Yes? What they said Phoenician. I'm sorry, what they said Phoenician means. So, like I said, correct information, yes?
Oh, I was muted. I kept asking, can you hear me now? Can you hear the echo
Oh, right
now?
now, I'm
Okay.
hearing you.
Okay. Do you hear the echo?
No, not now.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. So let me go back. I've been talking for a while, but I didn't realize I was muted. So,
I'm hearing the echo. I'm hearing the echo from me, not from you. You're good.
oh, okay. Okay. Are you on speakerphone?
No, I'm actually on
Oh, it's
a
strange
headset.
because, oh,
But
it's a
let
shame.
me. But it's. I don't know. Let me
Okay.
see something here.
Well,
Okay, that's off. Let me see something else.
okay.
Because that's weird. Because I
No.
wasn't having an echo when we first started out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, okay. Now, the Phoenician part, it's in this quote here. Hitti, the author. Oh,
Okay.
now you must be on speakerphone. Okay. So
Right.
Hitti, the author of the comprehensive history of the Arabs, writes that the Romans called Western Africa Mauritania and
Right.
its inhabitants Maury.
No.
Mhm.
No. 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 We're saying who's do you know this name calling?
Come again?
Let's go back to what Phoenicia means first. That's very important to me.
Well, Phoenicia, that would be that would be an area
It's
that
called the
would be,
Levant.
yeah.
Yes.
It's
So
not.
now what so who called that area Phoenicia? It's
I
it's
don't
known
know,
as
but
Canaan as well.
well, Phoenicia, I don't think it's Canaan that would be the country known as Palestine or Israel today.
Yes, yes, yes. About
But
hence Phoenicia.
but but
Because
but,
why?
but Phoenicia will be less specific. I think it will be more like
Ah,
an
what does
area.
Phoenicia? We need to look at Phoenician. Listen, seriously, Phoenician simply means one thing. It doesn't speak to people. It speaks about a commodity. It is purple dyed cloth, Tyre in purple dyed cloth. Tyre, as in the city of Tyre. Yes.
Well, let me read the definition according to Britannica 2012.
Go ahead.
Well, I can't even share with the people, but I
Go
know it will
ahead.
be very small and difficult to read,
Don't worry about it. Go
but
ahead.
I will do it still. So
I will
here,
show you I will show you the work that I've done.
oh, okay. Oh, okay. If people put it on full screen, they might be able
Yep.
to
Go
read it.
ahead.
So uh, this is Britannica 2012. Phoenicia, ancient region corresponding to modern Lebanon with adjoining parts of modern Syria and Israel. Its inhabitants, the Phoenicians, were notable merchants, traders, and colonizers of the Mediterranean in the first millennium BC. The chief cities of Phoenicia, excluding colonies, were Sidon, Tyre, and Beirut, modern Beirut. So
Where
indeed,
are
this is
you?
what you
Where are
told
you
us
to?
about.
I'm sorry.
Come again?
Where are you? Oh, okay. All right. I can see where you are now. That's the second, third paragraph done. Yes.
Oh no, I just read the first paragraph. That's all.
Okay.
And
So go, keep going.
actually, you know what I can do?
No, no,
Uh,
don't. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
yes. Okay. Now, second paragraph. It is not certain what the Phoenicians called themselves in their own language. It appears they have called. I'm sorry. It appears to have been Kenani, Akkadian, Kinahna, or Canaanites.
Yes.
In Hebrew, the word Kenaani has the secondary meaning of
Merchant.
merchant,
Mm-hmm.
a term that well characterizes the Phoenicians.
Mm-hmm.
The
Right.
Phoenicians probably arrived in that area about 3000 BC. Nothing is known of their original homeland, though some traditions place it in the region of the Persian Gulf.
Right. So now, what does Phoenician mean again?
What here they tell us that Phoenicia is a region.
No, I get
First,
that, but I want to know what the
you
word
mean the
Phoenician
etymology?
means because
Okay.
when you look at certain things, because I see what you're reading there, right?
Mhm,
Encyclopedia Britannica article, right? So they're saying that it's not certain what the Phoenicians called themselves, but
mhm.
what does the word Phoenician mean?
Phoenicia. Okay, so you after the etymology, so I can have a look on Etym online and see what they
Yes.
say. Phoenicia. This is Phoenician, but I want Phoenicia. Really. Phoenicia. It doesn't. Okay, they have the entry for Phoenician, not Phoenicia,
Go ahead.
and I can share it so we can all have a look together. So let me share that. No, no, here Phoenicia, and make it larger. There it is. Should be large enough. Yes. Sorry. So Phoenicia, late 14th century, Phoenician, plural, native or inhabitant of the ancient country of Phoenicia on the coast of Syria, from Old French Phoenician, or formed from Latin phoenis, phoenicis, on the model of Persian, etc. The Latin word is from Greek phoenic, Phoenicia, including its colony Carthage, which is perhaps of pre-Greek origin.
Yes.
Then they tell us to compare with
Phoenix.
Phoenix,
Since.
which seems to be unrelated.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Greek Phoenix also meant the color purple, right? But that's the Phoenician color because the Greeks obtained purple dyes from the Phoenicians. But scholars disagree about this. Greeks also have phoenix, the red blood, red, which is of southern etymology. Greek phoenix was also palm tree. Now you see all of this confusion here, right?
Actually, I wouldn't say it's confusion because Phoenicia denotes an area, and as we have seen,
Yes, the area,
that has three different countries as we know today. But of course, borders, um, they will not be the same like thousands of years ago as they are today. Just like with different African countries that were at some point, some of them were kingdoms. Like for example, the Congo Kingdom, you had parts of Angola, parts of Congo Brazzaville, parts of Congo Kinshasa. So today there are three different countries, but the Kingdom of Congo of the Congo will be from those three countries. Not all of them, but some of them, and it's the same for Phoenicia when it comes to the area. So I wouldn't really say that it's confusion, really.
what I'm saying is that the world has been confused because of the way that we're going about trying to, as Dr. Vivan Van Serven said, we're talking about the destruction of evidence, the misappropriation of evidence. Yes, the displacement of evidence. I asked you about before about the Dutch people going around the world. They went around the world making a lot of maps. They went around the world doing a lot of different things. You understand? The Greeks done the same thing. Yeah, they changed the names of a lot of different things. So now we have to go back and try to reconstitute things, but not on the model in which they give us. Yeah, because they talk about a lot of prehistory, prehistoric things. And what I come to understand, prehistoric simply means before the white guy got there. Yeah. So nothing is history until the white man records it as a history. That's how we socialized to think. Yes. So when we're looking at words, right? I'm trying to make sense of the words, but when we're looking at it from the paradigm in which they've been presented, I find we're running into problems. Yeah. So do me a favor, look up. Stop. Stop that. I didn't ask you to search for nothing. Anyhow, look up on Wikipedia and see what Phoenix means. Phoenicia means.
Uh, I don't really
It's
like using
I
Wikipedia
know
like
that.
that,
I know
but
that. I know that. A lot of people are
just
very
because you asked
interested.
me,
Thank you very
I'll
much. I
put it.
appreciate you.
No problem. So Phoenix, that's obviously the mythological bird, but
But not only
I
the
don't.
Phoenix, yes, but also who had a brother named Phoenix?
No, I don't know.
Cadmus. You know Cadmus is, yes?
Uh, Cannabis.
Uh-huh.
You mean
Cadmus.
Kendake or
Yes. No, 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 not Kandake.
oh
Cadmus.
Cadmus? I heard that name, but I'm not really familiar with that name.
Ah, okay. Greek mythology, yes?
But if I go to okay, are you after the people because we
Yes,
have
there we
Phoenix,
go.
we have the son
Phoenix.
of Amintor, we have the son of Agnor, and
Right,
also in Greek myth, the chieftain who
right. Now, the son
came
of
as God,
Agnor.
the son of Agnor. Okay, so in Greek mythology, Phoenix or Phoenix, ancient Greek Phoenix, meaning sun red, is the eponym of Phoenicia, who together with his brothers were tasked to find their abducted sister Europa.
Yeah. So now you see the connection there. Now, Europa, right, is the sister to Cadmus. Europa was abducted by Zeus as a bull. See that? You look at that etymology of that name, it means darkness, the sunset, the west. You are muted again.
Yes, I was muted. Are you talking about the etymology of Europa or the previous
Yes,
word? Europa.
yes, according to
Uh,
mythology, yes.
Etymology of Europa contains the element Eurus, which means wide, broad, and Eopt, which means eye,
Face,
face, countenance.
yes. It's talking about the cow, bull, yeah, bull with the cow motif. That's what it's talking about. That's one sense, yeah.
Mhm.
But it also goes to darkness, the west, yes. That's
Well,
why he said.
I
Hence
don't know
this why.
I don't know where it says that, but
Okay,
I
I'm
don't see it
sorry.
here on that article. But I'm not
Mm,
denying it. But
No, no, I got you. I got you. Like I said, I'm done a lot of stuff on it, so we can find that. There's no worries,
mhm.
because things change around and all of that there. So, but I'm saying hence Zeus turned in. But now she also has another brother named Cadmus. Yes,
Europa. So family. Sorry. Yes, Cadmus. Yes.
he was the one who's supposed to have taken the lattice into Greece,
Well,
and
probably
they're
I'm not
supposed to
familiar with
both come
him.
from the Levant, which means rising.
Hmm.
Yes,
In French,
his
Levant
name
is like
Cadmus.
yes, yes. Mhm.
His name Cadmus also breaks down to mean the west, or a place where the sun rises. So the east. I'm sorry, the east. Yes.
Etymology of Cadmus. So the etymology, now this is according to Wikipedia for whatever it's worth. The etymology of Cadmus' name remain uncertain. Possibly connected words include the Semitic triliteral root QDM. We also have some Ugaritic writing, which signifies east. In Arabic, words derived from the root QDM include the verb kadam, meaning to come, as well as words meaning primeval and forth, as well as foot. I know about foot because uh, in Sahih Bukhari, one of the description of the okay, never mind, never mind. And we have Hebrew kedem, which means front or east. And ancient times, the verb kadam, Syriac, we have the form in Syriac, and he says that it means to be in front. So, and finally in Greek, we have kekasmai, which means to shine. So, indeed, yes, you're correct. According to Wikipedia, it says
Right.
the east, amongst other things.
Yes. So, but he was supposed to have given. But when we look at the movement of lattice, right, that stands to reason. In other words, the language is so. So we know that the earliest writings is going to be the Imaginata.
Well, some people say that. Yes.
Yes. I don't mind. Like I said, for me, that's why I call my class African science, because for me, when we look at the evidence, everything arises from out of Africa. When we go back into the earliest times, people came from out of Africa, migrated to the earth. Yes. So
Mhm.
hence, culture came from where the people came from. They carried it all around, even though they may have, even if they developed it somewhere else. For me, it came from there because that's where they came from. They were because what was building upon things that we knew. Yes. So when I'm looking at all of this here, and they say that when we look at writings, all of them, that's what I teach as well. All writings come from out of the Imaginata, but but there were two forms. One was the cursive form, which they call Hieratic.
Now, that comes actually later. The Hariatic.
Well,
Uh,
but I keep telling you history,
mhm,
prehistory. Yes.
mhm,
So when you say later,
mhm.
what is later?
Well, I don't think I'd be able to give a specific
And
date,
I got you.
but we had the quote unquote classical hieroglyphic or miniature, which would be the pictogram,
I got you.
and at some point they will come up with what we call the Hariatic, which will be more linear, more
No,
cursive. Yes.
right. But when did they develop? Both of them.
Um, I um I need to get hold of my book. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, so
Mm,
I'm gonna see if there's any date. Afrazi, I think I see you. Just hold on. I'll put you back. I'm sorry. I'll put you in the stream a bit later on. Now, um, um, okay. So this is the source. Um, Hieroglyphic
okay. Cool.
Egyptian by someone called Claude Obzoma. So I don't know if
Hmm.
I know it's not really showing that well, but
Got you covered.
Obsomer. So
I've not heard the distortion
so
now.
that,
Are you
that
hearing me okay?
yes, I can hear you. Okay, yes.
Okay, cool.
So that's page 13. Now it's talking about the language. So for the Hariatic, it has a little chart. It's like I don't think you'll be able to see it well, but because of my background, but it has a chart,
Right.
and for the
I couldn't see
Hariatic,
anything just now. Your background is that the blue screen thingy,
yeah.
green screen.
Um, well, according to his chart, the Hariatic would appear well as early as the Old Kingdom. Okay,
Hmm.
so circa 2600 BC, 2670
May,
BC.
maybe, but very, 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 very early. Before any Greek, before any Roman, before any other writing was around that we
Oh
could
yes,
speak
yes,
of.
yes. I'm quite
Yes?
surprised. I would have thought that the hierarchy will come later, but that's
Nope.
that's what he's put.
Very
So
early.
okay.
Actually, there's some that would say they came earlier than that, but
Mm,
I would take that very early date.
mm. But at the end of the day, it's the same language. It's just a
Yes.
different.
Yes. But
I, I
now,
I don't I don't even think I can say
but
different
now,
script. But
out of that has developed
mhm.
what they call the Semitic writings, going into Phoenician,
Well, you're
going
probably
into
mhm.
getting into what they call the Hebrew, for what it's worth.
Yeah, but
Are you?
yeah, I know what you mean. I have this on my website. I'm gonna first share it in the chat, and then I will show it to the people. But a lot of people don't know what you are referring to. But
Okay.
that's the one here.
Yes, that's it there. That's from out of which book is that from?
That's Anthony Browder,
Right, I
Man
got you.
Value Contribution to Civilization.
I got you. So uh yes, Oxy said a yes, exactly, exactly, exactly. Um good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, I have that as well. So now and that's the Maginata, and then what they call the hieratic is the cursive form of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then from of that has developed supposed to have been the Phoenician as an offshoot,
Mm-hmm.
right? And from out of that, like I said, the Phoenician supposed to have through Cadamus is supposed to have I'm giving it to the Greeks, of which the Romans received knowledge of and developed that. And I actually got this. I actually got this as part of my class. Some Europeans have done that. But are you familiar with anacalypsis?
That's the name of a book, right?
Correct.
I've heard it, but I haven't read it.
It's 2 volumes. Yeah. These now. Yeah. Here's the one. This. Sorry. Got to close it. So anacalypsis. This book here. Yeah, I'm sorry. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So but on in here you have a chart like this. So and this. So that gives you the development of certain ladders and the relationship of certain ladders. So we have so we got the Hebrew. Let me find out what's because it's different things and um so in column one is excuse me. Number one contains the names of the letters of the ancient Samaritan and Hebrew Chaldaic alphabet. Second column contains the Samaritan letters. Third column is the Hebrew Chaldean letters used after the Babylonian captivity. Four contains the Hebrew Chaldean final letters, opposite of the powers of notation, and all of that, and so forth until we get to the last one is it's the I'm sorry, yeah, we come to the
Which page? Which
to
page is
the
this?
to the Irish, huh?
Which page
Yeah, you
is
can look
this?
it up on page 10. You
Thank
can
you.
look it up because you could get this online, yes?
Yeah, I'm
Anacalypsis.
downloading right now as we speak. As we speak.
Yes. Um, that other book you could get online as well.
I'm sorry.
Ancient and Modern Britons.
You said page 10 or 12?
It's going to be 10,
10. Thank you.
which yeah, which is actually yeah, page 10. But it's got a few pages come to be forget to that of course. But on page 10. And don't forget my rich because I'm going a lot of but travel a lot of ground here though, but it's all good because like I said I'm talking about the confusion that we're in and under. Yeah, that's the next page over. Yeah, but I'm sorry, go back up and right below the bottom in the note, right on the diagram, there gives you the cut 47, right? That gives you what you're going to see on the following page. Yeah, that's what you're gonna see. That tells you what you're gonna see on the following page. So this is where you're gonna see all of that. So hence what you saw from Anthony Browder's book where he says Alf, Bath, Gamo, Dalithias, this is the this is where you find it in the Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? And also they have the Samaritan, and then they correspond over into, you see, into the eighth column. That's the Greek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, sigma,
Mm-hmm.
zeta. Yes. So you see the relationship there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we cut over to the ABCs, ABDGs. So that's the that's going to be the Roman,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next column over again into the Irish. Elam, Bath, Gort, Dua, Ida, Fern. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come over to the other part where it talks about the trees that it's related to in the languages. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And see, know that each number, each letter corresponds to a number, and
Yes.
it starts from one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So we know that letters. Hence we have the grammata. Yes. The Hebrews talk about the codes or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Letters becoming numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how letters are numbers. So, but there's some other things because I'm doing a lot of different stuff that this book is fascinating. Reading this book here, Anacalypsis, this type of stuff that's in there is very interesting. Now, back to this her, right? Um, 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 the word Phoenician, as I was saying, right? That is, let's say, presumably a Phoenician origin, meaning Western. Now, um, um, that's not the case either. That's why this term presumably. Now, the like this whole term of Moors, right? When you like, because I've heard you speak about the Moors before, and I've heard you speaking about the um, um Phoenicians and the people from what they call Mesopotamia, the Akkadians, or the who else we call them,
Sumerians.
Syrians. In order to send you, and you're sharing their origins to be of a non-African descent. I'll put it like that.
Yes, indeed.
But although when I looked at, and also the term Berber and all of these confusion terms that is being used, and not a lot of them are personal names, but sometimes people like the Ethiopians. Like the reason why Ethiopia is called Ethiopia today is something that I haven't quite figured out as yet. There's a statement made they have never been colonized. Although the term Ethiopian is not one that they coined for themselves.
But
Yeah,
it's not a big deal. It's just that at one point,
major
some people use. Well, okay, you might
for me. It's
feel
major.
indeed, but they still went by. At one point, some people use a name or word to describe some population or some area. So everybody know that from the Greek Ethiop meaning burnt face, and
Hmm.
we know that most of the time names of country when they will end up with the Ethiopia, uh,
Means the
we know that
place
that would
of,
be yes,
means the
something like
land
that.
of.
So that would be some Greek. So the land or the place of the burnt face, or
Yes,
i.e. birth face
exactly.
people.
But
So
we do know, that the word Ethiopia was not used primarily for that geographical land space.
mm, well,
It
it's
was
something.
it was widely used, and not only on this part of the Red Sea, but on that part of the Red Sea as well, all the way over into India.
Mhm.
Yeah. So even the people across the Red Sea, like in Arabia, what's called Ethiopians.
Well. Maybe they were at one point. I'm not familiar with that,
Well,
but
that's look. I'm sorry, but I'm not saying that off the top of my head.
mm,
I'm just showing you. I've written these things to show you all of this, so I can do that,
mhm.
right? But like that's why I show you like the books that me read like this. And you're familiar with this book, yes?
No, not this one. No.
Ah, yes.
Mm.
Um, um, yeah.
But
So
is your stance that Arabia was populated by black people like
yes.
during the 7th century?
No. I'm saying.
Mm.
Oh my goodness. I read this book.
No, I haven't read it. I heard about it a lot. Drusilla Houston.
Yes.
Um, but our brother Afro Asiatic quotes her a lot because she is of the opinion. So I heard when people quoted her, she's of the opinion that the Arabs used to be black. But my point
Yes.
is, the chronology is very important. If we're talking about the
Yeah.
7th century, as far as I'm concerned, they were not black.
Seventh century. Seventh century. No.
Mhm.
No. See. Seventh century is relatively early.
Relatively recent.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's what I mean. But late. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's indeed early. It's not old. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Mm,
You know what I mean.
mm,
So, but we're talking about because for me what the amazing part of this lady's work was herself. She didn't have no team or nobody behind her.
mm,
She went and studied and done this research on her own. Yeah, and came up with this amazing information.
mm,
You see, but we're not talking, and I'm not talking about ancient time. Like if you read this book here, yeah,
mhm,
it's got a lot of interesting stuff as well concerning a lot of different things. Although his premise is that things come from India. Now, if you look at the word India itself, like like indigo,
mhm.
what color is indigo?
Some sort of black.
Ah, so and like so when we think of ink from an ink well, like when writing ink, what color is that?
There's several colors of ink,
No,
but
no, no, no. When
mhm.
I was young, when I was a little boy, there was not very several colors of ink,
Those
John.
well,
When I was
okay.
writing when I was a little
Mm.
boy, it was always black.
But
I'm
the
good.
the population in Indians, a lot of them have dark skin. Some
Yes,
have very dark skin,
yes.
i.e. the
Dravidians.
Dravidians.
Yes.
Um, so that's one thing. But when it comes to those people of Mesopotamia, Sumeria, and so on,
Yes.
yeah,
Getting back to there.
because like you said, you've seen the video,
I
white
seen
Timas
that.
Black Awakening, and we see the standard of ore, which is like 2500 BC, and we see what they look
Ah,
like, and consistently
ah.
from 2500 BC to like about 700 BC, those
So
people. Go ahead.
yeah, no, no, no. Yeah, no. I've seen it, and it's very interesting. Like I said,
Mm,
history is a very interesting thing,
mm,
monuments mean a lot, but
mm.
it seems to me like history goes even back farther than that there even. But when we're looking at that part of the world, like the work that she done, I'm looking at a lot of destruction of things, a lot of falsehoods, a lot of reinventing of things. History.
So are you of the opinion that they destroy all the black artifacts and they left the white with the
Oh,
ones?
oh, oh! I don't have opinions. I'm trying to seek out facts rather
Mm,
than work opinions. I'm just curious on
mm,
the things that we do see
mm.
now, and like for what we're thinking about, how to think about them now. Yeah, and there's been a lot of things that even today has been like has been changed, so to speak. You know, um, when I was looking at this thing the other day, and they was talking about how they was making the blocks of the pyramids and other megalithic places out of precast stone, right? And and they talked about the Egyptians, and they so the white people was doing it right. They was putting this formula together, this liquid together that they said was used to put this stuff together. They mixed, and then they put in on a dry lay in a bed, and they was all dressed as ancient Ethiopians, supposed to be. And I laughed at that because it's like, okay, so here's the story continues that it was not Africans, it was non-Africans. Yeah. And so I'm the only opinion that I do have is that we don't know very much about what we know. Yeah. So my thing is to read these books to get an idea of what is the possibilities. You see. So now most of the books that I've read that I've shown you just now, you don't know about.
Yeah.
So cool. That's all right because these are the books is that for me that's what we need to be going like
Because
but
possibility is one thing, but possibility is not a fact. So when I was
well
asking about your opinion, it could be your stance. But
no
what the population, Sumeria, Akkad, Sumer, the Levant, Mesopotamia, I mean,
oh
the
yes
Near East, the Middle East.
I don't even like those
Uh,
terms.
well,
I get it. I understand the geographical areas
yeah,
that you're speaking
yeah,
about, but
you
I
know,
don't like the terms for the reason
or
why the
Asia, Asia,
position.
Asia. Let's say Asia, for lack of better
Got you.
words.
No, I got you. I got you. I got you.
Mm, But
I listen. When I say those things to you, I don't want to change anything. I just want you to understand, right?
mhm,
That I have
mhm,
a different understanding, but I'm not trying to change your understanding about that because I understand most people understand it the way you just said it.
mhm,
No worries.
mhm. because
I just need to
because
be clear about for myself.
because like, for example, the explanation you gave in talk about Cadmus, this guy is a mythical figure. Now, the language itself is not mythical. It's something that's been spoken, and
Ah,
that is still spoken today. Some of those languages, we don't really know too much about, but we have scholars who've been working on them. So we know the relationship between those different languages. The linguists, they've been working on that for ages. Even linguistically, when it comes to African people, now maybe some people will feel like, okay, those people are black, but they're not Africans. That's why we don't see any relationship with African languages. I'm like, okay, if that's their argument, that's fine. But when it comes to the statues and the paintings, those things are there. So we don't need, to make correlation between languages, mythical figures, theology, and so on. Like some people do with, for example, Ham, the sons of Ham,
oh,
Cush,
oh,
Canaan,
but,
Nimrod,
uh,
because that's what many of our people do. But we have the
but
statues. Hmm.
yes. So got you there. But
Hmm.
it brought me to the thought because you mentioned Ham. Because when we look at the mythology of that,
Hmm.
and we find that Akkad getting up into Sumer, right? Akkadians, yes, which is
Hmm.
supposed to be Semitic writings, yes,
Yes.
Akkadians, hence the
Hmm.
cuneiform,
Yes.
yes, hence the writings that we find in Amarna tablets,
Indeed.
right? But we said, but yet when we said, oh, the first mention of Akkad is in relationship to Nimrod. He's supposed to be the son of Cush, the grandson of Ham. Yes, so when we look, so where you find this word Akkad from? So oh yes, it came from the biblical scriptures from Genesis 10 or wherever it was. You see, so so what are they saying there? So what is mythology? What is what now? Listen. I'm not. My name is Haile Miriam. Member of the Orthodox Church since 1777 to 2000. Right? That's when I had to go back and go but got my books that I had gotten before and start to get more books like this one here. Yes, you know about this book.
Mm. The natural Genesis, Jeremiah. I'm aware of Jeremiah. I haven't read his books yet, but that particular book, I wasn't
So I
familiar with.
have all 6 volumes. Yeah. Now this library that I'm showing you is very small.
Hmm.
It's very meager. But these are the books that I had to go and find in order to get some semblance of the confusion I was in from 1977 to 2000. Yeah.
Hmm.
So um, um so I had to read these things, right? to get some semblance of what they actually. So you can find this John Massey online, right? Um, Anarchalists online. Africans, not the
Wonderful
what's it?
Ethiopians of the Nile.
No, no, one for Ethiopians of the ancient Kushite Empire. Not, I don't think that's out yet. Online, anybody's line yet. I can't say. Um, um, 1926. So I doubt that. It's not the time yet. It's got to be 100 years
Mm,
before they lose the copyright, and then
mhm.
people could put it online. I was talking about the
People
ancient and
don't wait
modern
that
Britons,
long, but I know what you mean.
but ancient and modern Britons. I'm saying that's you
Oh,
can
oh, that
find
one.
those
Okay.
those things online,
Mm,
right? So if you can't get the hard copy, you could go there and but that book there it was a gold mine for looking at the consideration of the word more itself and its uses in England. Yeah, it's much early uses by the Romans. Um, um, like some, I'm just still writing. I'm writing a paper on this now.
mm,
Like I said, and just for your information, I do like to use Wikipedia a lot
mhm,
because I find that um, the reason why I say it because white people created. I put it like that. Yes, but it's a tool of white people, so yeah, I'm good. Because, like I said, with a lot of my books, I have confirmed what I put down on from Wikipedia.
mm,
So I didn't just use it just out of hand like that. You know
mm.
what I mean?
But
But
you know that when it comes to Wikipedia, I mean, even if it was non-white people who created it or who's running it, the things that there's indeed a lot of correct information on Wikipedia. As a matter of
yes,
fact, me having Britannica 2012 that I've been using for well, I don't remember which year I bought it, but I've used it for a good decade now, and I've noticed that a lot of article on Wikipedia actually are copies of Britannica's articles.
yes,
So um, there's a lot of good information
and
on
you could go
Wikipedia. But
look at the resources.
yeah, exactly, yes. And that's a good thing about Wikipedia when they give
Yes,
sources.
yes,
With Britannica, you don't necessarily need to look for sources because it's an institution and it's reliable. However, unfortunately, on Wikipedia, there's a fair bit of information that's not correct, and
yes,
sometimes they will give references for sources, but the sources might not necessarily say or state what is within the article. And now people, particularly, we love making history using Wikipedia. Sometimes too much. Sometimes primarily, we have people who
yes.
make presentation, and the main source is Wikipedia, and I think we need to try to 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 stop having that habit.
Well,
So that's the reason I'm trying to be very cautious with quoting Wikipedia, because we as a people, we are already very skilled at doing linguistic gymnastics and linguistic acrobatic. So if we add that with Wikipedia, no wonder a lot of people don't take us serious when we make different claims. You see?
but that's why I said that's why I like to have books.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
and these books. So when I ask people about the books, I tend to find that not a lot of people is exposed to these writing materials. Yeah, and I think we need to be more exposed to these writing materials. We really, really, really need to be exposed more and more and more to these writing materials because a lot of these books, like the question of the Moors, the questions that were asking about Phoenicia and all of this, here, these things was done. These things have been looked at. These things have been looked at already. Yeah, but we don't even know that because we're not looking at the materials, right? That is not according to mainstream because that's why you don't find Dr. Ivan Van Sertima's books. You don't find John Massey being quoted. Yes, you don't taught in universities even, far as I know. You don't find this one here, another one, right? You know this
Yeah, I've got that one. Signs and symbols of primordial men.
Albert Churchwood,
Oh
yes,
yes, I've got this
right,
one. It must be somewhere. I
right. So,
started it, but didn't finish it yet.
it's a lot. It's a lot to read. It's a lot of stuff to read.
But
But if we
the things that you see, um, when it comes to the Moors, once again, we have paintings of some people like that, and one of them was actually a god, you know, probably
Oh
looking
yes.
over a harem.
That's why I said
Hmm.
that's why I don't want to just stand on that. Like
Hmm.
when you read this book here, right?
Hmm.
And then when you looked at the and because nowadays they're doing they're using the modern science of Y X and Y sequencing, yes, chromosome sequencing, yes, so blood sequencing, so blood type sequencing, and all of that there, DNA sequencing going back, so haplogroups and all of this type of stuff there. So one when I looked at you talked about the Moors from out of Morocco, and I wonder why people big up themselves as being Moors when we look at what the Moors from Morocco done under Al Mansur, right? To um 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 Timbuktu and that area, right? But
But
he devastated the area.
but
As a Muslim
and,
attacking Muslims.
and that's the key thing. That's the key thing. Uh, people usually use it to more when we're dealing with just Muslims. So once again, the people who conquered Europe, they were Muslims, and there were
Uh,
some black people, like I don't want to say mercenaries, but some black
hey,
people who
little
were
minute,
part of
hey,
the
little minute,
army.
slow down.
Mhm.
So you haven't read the book, this book,
No, I haven't.
and this book,
No.
right? So um um so Dr. Johnson, for instance, says that when we look at the Moorish invasion, because he gives the Arab conquest of Africa, right? And then he goes into that. So he says the history of it, and so the history of this attacking, like how they went into Spain as a was, because you do know how the of course do know the history of the Rock of Gibraltar, yes,
Yes.
right? Who is named
Jebel Al
after,
Tariq,
yeah, and who that person was,
the mountain of Tariq.
and who that
Now,
person was.
that one, according to what Runoko Rashidi said, that was a black guy. But
Right.
Runoko Rashidi said that he was treated as a second class citizen.
Well, he was, but
Mm.
so so
By
so
by who? By the
but by
air.
the Arabs. But you know
Exactly.
what happened?
Which
No,
shows
no.
which shows who was
Shh, shh,
ruling.
shh.
Yeah.
Stop, 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 stop.
Okay.
He was an Arab and he was subjected to the masters. And when because he was put as not just a general, but he was actually put in charge of Mauritania. But he did have answer to Arab guy that was there, right? And so the story is that the ruler of Kuwaita, Kuwaita, anyhow, the ruler of Kuwaita had a problem, right, with his boss, right, who ruled Spain. Because what had happened is that he the ruler of Kuwait, which was is an island just off of Africa, right, and he had given his daughter in charge of the king of Spain. I'm not going to get the names right now, right? But anyhow, of course, the king of Spain ravished his daughter,
Right.
and he was vexed. He just said nothing but his vexed. But when he saw Teresa, hey, look, you know what? You could go over there and do this thing here, man. He wanted revenge. So he gave him an inroads. He said, look, you could go over there. So he took out an expeditionary force and went over there and landed, and he got some stuff and he came back. So yeah, that could work. So he told his son, he said, look, we're going to do this here. So he said, okay, go ahead, do that there, but be careful. So he went over there, landed at what you call Mount Copus at that point. But then they renamed it. Like I said, but a fortress there, right? So they called it after him. So he set that as his principal place of defense. Then he went and ravaged the countryside, and he made great inroads. And by the time his superior found out what he was doing, he rushed over there, brought some other troops over there. Because when Tariq went over there, he went over with Africans, right? So when
Yes.
he so when he got there, the like I said, his I gotta find that. But anyhow, when he got there, he said the commander said, "Hey, you went too far," and he reprimanded him. for getting beyond what he told him to do at first. And so when his superior found out what he had done, he got vexed with him and said, called him back and reinstated Tariq into his position. So yes, he was punished by his superior, the Arab, but the Arab superior got vexed at him over in, because we're talking about Africa now, we go back over to Arabia, right? So he got reprimanded and got reinstated. So I understand, but now that history is not in there. That history is in here. But
Now,
did you know about that history there?
not the full thing. I've heard Reno Rashidi talking about Tariq being humiliated publicly and treated as a
Yes,
second class citizen. But
and he was.
you did say that Tariq was an Arab. Who said he was an Arab?
No, nobody said that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
He was a
what?
Moor.
Yes.
Okay, okay, but now,
No, but I'm saying, no, but I was saying that when we look at who was in, so there was, and that's what I wrote. There was always in subjection to the Islamists, right? But when
okay,
you look at Al Mansur himself, he was a black man per se. Yeah, I have that picture there. That's always like it says one black guy, then one brown guy, and one white guy, right?
well, what I'm interested in is the one underneath. Now, I don't think I can rotate it. Uh,
Oh, right.
rotation.
Yes,
Oh yes, I can. Okay, great.
you should
Now
do.
this one
Yes.
here, which is page 31, and it says figure 3, detail of Muslim expedition in Spain, and then it says, note the two black Moorish soldiers from from the Cantigas, date 1254. So we have all those soldiers. This is a Muslim expedition, and amongst those Muslims, we have just two black guys,
Yes.
which kills the argument of black people invading Europe.
Peace, Shaka.
Peace, Asiatic. How you doing, brother Alfred Asiatic?
All right, brother. Peace to the Heli Griot. It seems
Bless
like
up. Bless up.
bless up. It seems like me and the Heli Griot have the same library.
No, we don't. Same library. Oh
Yes,
yeah.
many of the books you have shown are some of my favorites. Yeah, I have them on deck here with me. Are you
Hell,
familiar?
hell it, hell it, hell it, hell it, hell it, 1 minute, hell it, 1 minute, hell it, 1 minute. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hold 1 second. I have a strange sense of humor, but I'm sorry. But
Okay.
you're the person I've never seen. I've only heard.
Right, right. Yes, sir.
And while I haven't shared what I have, because I have a lot of stuff, and I've written a lot of stuff, so I would have to get online to shoot. But I haven't seen you.
Yes,
Where are you, brother?
yes,
It would be nice to see you. It would be
yes,
awesome to see. The reason why I come on her is because I don't want to talk to like because I've been like hanging around Senado Studios for a long time. I've actually tried to meet him in person, but
mm,
that didn't happen. But I've been to New York and I went to see the obelisk with the Tacken in New York City.
yes.
Have you been there?
I live not far from New York. I'm in New Jersey.
But not far, damn right, you're close to New Jersey. I was up in there for my brethren passed.
Oh
So yeah, you
wow.
could go there anytime. Have you been there?
Which one? Which place is it?
The Tacken in New York, in Central Park,
No,
Seneca
no,
Village.
The obelisk.
no. I haven't been there. I'm familiar with the place.
I personally don't think that any black person like should not go there.
Right.
It should be a pilgrimage.
Yes.
What they call Cleopatra's Needle.
Mm,
Yeah, this desecration. Tutmosis is the third Tacken. Yes,
yes.
But
that
brother,
should be a must visit.
you know, because of the Abrahamic belief systems, that's the reason why black people rather spend all their time, money, and energy towards everything that has to do with the Abrahamic belief system, anything that has to do with Rome, Israel, and Arabia, rather than dealing with the stuff that comes actually from Africa, you know, and that's a tragedy, you see, and that's why I put in work so much.
Mm,
Uh, they're the biggest guy on the block. They're the big guys on the block. They have it on lock.
They
Right.
have destroyed. They like it's that's why I brought up the thing about the invasion of Timbuktu. Like I can't hurl myself out for the conquest the conquest of Europe.
Mhm.
Yeah, I understand, but I cannot hurl myself up for the conquest of Europe
Mhm.
because of the devastation that the Islamists have done to African.
Mhm.
And the conquest of Europe after the Moors is always given as an Arab conquest, not
Mhm.
as an African conquest. Although
Yes.
everything that the Moors did in Europe was according to the African paradigm, not the Arab paradigm. What I
Facts.
mean by that there is all the enrichment of Europe didn't come through Arab knowledge. It came
Mhm.
through African knowledge.
Yes.
I have a big problem with that. What they call the Islamic invasion
Mhm.
But
and
that's what
taking
it
over
was,
the
bro.
knowledge of
That's what
the
it
ancient
was.
Africans.
But that's what it was. It was Muslim
Yes,
invading.
But it was
yes,
It
I
blacks,
was
know
it was
this.
black
it was
Muslims.
it,
No, no,
well
no,
that,
no,
that
no, 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 no. I'm not the business of black Muslims. I understand what you're saying, but like I said, from reading all my books here, we're not dealing with black Muslims because, and for me, the term black is so usually used in the sense of, how can I say, is fat,
I,
is fat,
I would
because
be.
I think the Arabic, the Islamic, and the Christian and the Jewish thing, Arabic, Aramaic, as Brother Mott said, yeah, it's
Mhm.
been a downfall of our society,
Mhm.
yes, as a
Yeah.
whole, because before this happened, the Greeks invaded Africa.
Mhm.
Before that happened, the Persians invaded Africa
Mhm.
and devastated us. We've been fighting since how long? Since Nama, as they say,
Right.
against all this encroachment upon Africanness.
I
Well,
think it's.
the unification came about because of people encroaching and trying to change up what we had already established.
I think it's more of a. It was a Kushite. It was a heavy Kushite influence in early Islam. If we actually study the Kalam
Man,
and the
listen,
different
listen, 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 listen. I'm sorry, beloved.
himyar,
No, 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 no,
himyar.
no, 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 no. Slow
well,
down,
hold
right?
on,
I got the
brother
I
I
got
think
the
Eile,
genetic
brother
studies on
said, the
deck,
brother
brother
said,
G.
what were you
brother, hold
doing
on,
before
hold
the
on.
Islamists came
I got the
around?
genetics on deck.
Brother Haile,
I got
please.
the genetic
Now,
studies on
now,
deck.
let us
Yes.
let him state his piece. I don't agree with it, but he's been waiting for a long time. So go ahead, brother Afazeli.
Yeah, I would rather just share a quick genetic source so we could get it in perspective and use it at
Just
it
make your
tool.
point because honestly, when it comes to genetics, I mean, most of us can't break it down. All these
See,
haplogroup, EB, E1, B1A, and stuff like that. But
no, I'm
most of
not.
us are not familiar with that.
It's
So
simple. It's
okay,
simple
but just
writing. We can all
okay,
read.
okay. Well, share it. Go
You
ahead.
know, I don't want to impose though, Shaka. It's
Yes.
cool, but yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
feel free, share it if you want to. It's all good. It's all good.
brother. All right. I just want to get it into a little perspective so we can get some of the misunderstanding out of the way with who was here and there and things of that nature. Can you see my screen, Shaka?
It's
Yes,
coming up sharp.
we can all see it.
You can see it.
Well, yes, we can. We can.
You showing the whole screen, yes?
Okay, okay. Uh,
Mm.
yeah. One second. Is it up, Shaka?
It is, bro.
Okay. This is this gives us a little clarity right here. This is a source, Pleistocene North African genomes, linked Near Eastern and Sub-Saharan African populations. And what this litany of doctors have to say is we find Yoruba and Mindi and the Tufians are symmetrically related to a deeply divergent outgroup 2,000 years ago of ancient South Africans. But if we notice, they are telling us that the Yoruba slash Mindi are related to the Levantine Natufian. This is just a stock photo of a brother who is Mindi or Yoruba that would give us some indication of what the area of ancient Israel, Arabia actually looked like, at this time with these populations separated from. There's a lot of genetic data that reinforces this. When we
Bro,
look up, you,
can you just run that back? You're saying that this picture shows us what a Natufian, someone from the Levant, would look like. Is that what you said?
yeah, yeah, this is a genetic source, Pleistocene North African genomes, and the doctors, all of
Hi.
these doctors agree to this statement. We find that Yoruba and Mindi and the Tufians are symmetrically related. They're talking about their genetic heritage. And I just took a stock photo of a brother who is Yoruba
No,
slash
I'm
Mindi.
doing the line to somebody else right now, actually.
And this is the problem. What we find on Wikipedia, Wikipedia shows us people that look like this, but genetics tells us it's people that look like this that was in the area of the Levant that we call where the Natufians were located. And as you see, this is a different genetic source, genomic insight into the origin of ancient Near East, first farmers. They give us multiple back migrations into Africa from periods between 12,000 and 1400 BCE, from the Tuthian hunter-gatherers to Bronze Age farmers. These basal Eurasians are actually Afro-Eurasians. And when we look here,
Wait,
the
hold on,
lineage,
brother. Hold on, brother. It doesn't say that, does it?
yeah, look, we report
You saying
genome.
it.
Listen, we report genome wide ancient DNA from 44 ancient Near Easterners, ranging in time between 12,000 and 1400 BC, from the Tufian hunter gatherers to Bronze Age farmers. We show that the earliest populations of the Near East derived around half their ancestry from basal Eurasian lineages that had little, if any, Neanderthal ancestry, mean Neanderthal admixture, and that separated from other non-African lineages prior to the separation from each other. What they're telling us is that there was no Neanderthal admixture. Basically, we were looking at Africans who went out of Africa and gestated in the Middle East for a very long time and then came back in to Africa with little to no Neanderthal admixture. So they basically looked African when they left, and they looked very African when they came back in. So it's just a matter of a lot of brothers, I understand, are not familiar with genetics because it's kind of new. It's not really new. It's been out for some years, but there's a lot of data that demonstrates to us that the Middle East was very dark, looking much like many of our people. You, you know, I just wanted to get a little context or a little texture to the discussion dealing with its multiple studies that actually bear witness to our dear sister Drusilla Dungy Houston, which I appreciate very much myself. I appreciate her work, and I think she wrote a very prophetic text in a sense, because we find that the genetic data is backing her up, 100% in her narrative, you know.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now, people from the Middle East being dark, not a surprise at all. The weather will make people dark over there. Just like people in Sicily, they'll be way darker than someone from Norway or Denmark. But being dark doesn't mean being black. All those studies about DNA that you love to quote, none of the authors say that the Arabs, the people of Canaan, the Hebrews or Israelites, and Sumerian, Mesopotamian were black. None of them say that they were black. This is an interpretation from
No,
many different people. You see.
we have Drusilla.
Besides,
Drusilla's
no,
telling us that.
she's not a geneticist.
Yes.
And besides the standard of ore and all the different artifacts that have been shown over the years, We have also the depiction from the ancient Egyptians themselves, who painted or sculpted those different population, the Amu, the Asiatics, the people from most likely Syria or Palestine. And we can clearly see that they are not black, that they are of Caucasian stock or white
No,
skin people.
no,
You sure?
not when we look at the base populations of what we call Berber. It is Tuareg, it is Fulbe, it is Fulani. I'm talking about sub-Saharan African Fulani, Fulbe, Beja. When we
But
look at the
but but
Beja,
but
East
hold on, brother.
African,
Now we're talking about some different area. Now the Berbers, those are white skinned people
no, they are
living
not.
in. Okay, well, whether they are black or white, this is North Africa. But right now we're talking about those people of the Levant, those people that the people of Kemet
Yeah,
have painted. So we have the tomb of Ramesses III. We have another depiction. I forgot where it's from, but we see the different people of different nation of people. So and there's the one from Beni Hassan as well.
Khnum Hotep and Sobek Hotep. They give us depiction of dark skin. They give us depictions of dark skinned people from Crete, dark skinned people from the Arab. Like when we look at the term Kedim that y'all just was discussing.
No,
Kedim
brother,
is the
brother,
children of the
dark,
East.
dark, dark skin doesn't mean black because we have the depictions. If we have the
DNA tells
depictions,
us they were black, Shaka.
no, this DNA doesn't tell us that. The thing is that if we have the but brother, if we have the depictions of the surrounding population, why and they look white skin, why do we want to make them black? Now,
Let me ask you, did Egyptians paint their women white as symbolically?
n- not
Yes.
not
Yes, they
white,
did.
no, not
Yes,
not
they
white,
light
no,
skin.
no.
Light skin.
If you want to say light skin, you can say light skin.
It
But
didn't.
I have already shown from the Louvre Museum. This is not what I'm saying. This is what the Louvre Museum is saying. That the convention was to use yellow ochre for the females and red ochre for the males. So we know that the ancient Egyptians were not red. So arguing that they will paint their women light skin or white skin is not accurate because we know they were not red. And I've shown in the video Kemet and Ma'at that in Namibia they cover themselves in red. Even I've shown from Kenya, this is a
Bantu
practice
do
that
it.
they. I'm sorry.
Bantu do it.
Yeah.
Bantu
So
covered
so
their skin in red.
just to say that there was no such thing as no red people, red Egyptians. That's
The
just the
old
color. The red ochre was abundant, hence why they
elder
So
used it.
elder was
so
speaking.
no no no. So one second, can I say, because you mentioned the conventional colors of red and yellow ochre, right? Now, do you know why it was red and why it was yellow?
I will say because the red ochre was abundant. Now for the yellow, I don't know, but I think it will be to make a distinction between the male and the female. But this is my stance. So I would say for the red ochre, I think it's because it was abundant.
Hmm. Well, no, actually, was for ceremonial reasons, actually, for other reasons. Very interesting. Like I said, that book, Ancient and Modern Britons, had a very interesting start because it's talked about this red ochre that you're speaking about being used out throughout the history of Britain, right, right up into the 1700s, as he talked about Billy Marshall, right? Interesting character he was, right? But he said the red ochre found in Europe, in early Britain, right? It's the same red ochre that they found over in Tasmania because it's the same people that which use the same product. You just mentioned the Himba Society in South Africa today, right? In Namibia, yes. The Himba
Yes,
Society, they still use red ochre today. They
Yes.
grease themselves down. This red ochre is found all going up all through Europe. You heard about the Hottentot Venus? Venus of Willendorf, I mean. Have you heard that ancient statuette found in Willendorf and
yes,
around Germany? Yes, very ancient statuette. That was red oak was found in that in where she was found as well. Yeah, you can find the red oak again all the way up into Siberia. As a matter of fact, in 1200 BC, there was a grave found in America dating back to that time there that had red oak in there with a child with many tools in there. So yes, now that's what they look like according to Shikan Jijiap's book. Is that from out of Shikan Jijiap's book of
Yeah, that's a
Professor Menu
depiction.
Epim
That's a depiction. That's
of
someone's
the
thought
of a painting?
yes, it's a yes, it is a depiction or representation or painting, but
Hmm.
Champollion,
the original is there. The
yes,
original is there.
Champollion said when he saw that picture, he was shocked to say, "Oh dang, oh the Africans is front, the Europeans is back."
Hmm.
It's true. It's true. He did say that.
Yeah, he
So
said, and he
and the
said the
thing is
Egyptians and the Africans was the same.
exactly. But here we are. We have our dear brother Afro-Asiatic who still want us to believe that the Semitic people, the Asiatics, were somehow black when the ancient
No,
Egyptians themselves depicted those people as white skin, and we can see it there.
That's not
not
ancient
bronze.
Egyptian. That's someone's depiction.
No, it's not. That's not
Yeah,
true.
but okay,
That's
you
That's
not
see,
true.
that's
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 not
no,
not
true.
it.
That's not somebody's depiction.
That's
no,
not it.
no,
Simply, you heard, did you hear what Champollion said?
Yeah, but that's not a primary right there.
Ooh, Champollion is not a primary.
No, what was on the screen, Elder, was not a primary.
no. Actually, the brother is talking about the actual picture. This is the picture here. This is the original. This is the
Right.
primary. Now here we see the rematch. Let me double check at the top.
The
Yes,
rematch.
that's the rematch. Um, I'm going to try to see if there's pictures of the original, but this is not the kind of thing that they like to advertise.
Yeah, they
I
don't want
wish
to
one
show it.
day I wish one day I can go there and take a picture for myself. But the pictures are floating online.
I have.
This is not a secret.
That's not
Do
TT
you,
100. I have TT 100. TT
so are you saying
100
you
is the
okay?
actual
You
depiction.
okay?
It's a
Do you have the
dome.
pictures? Do you have the pictures?
I got to go through my folders, but yeah, I got TT 100. I got TT uh a few of
Because
them.
this article is very old from Manu Empin's website, and
Yeah.
the links that he gave, I'm clicking on all the links right now, and obviously they are no longer um, showing anything. They're hosted on Yahoo, and we know Yahoo is not popping anymore.
I'm going to check.
Yep. For real. For real. All of that is really true.
But for the record, this is not the only depiction of
No,
Asiatics
but
from
Champollion
people of
described
Kemet.
it when he discovered it. He said
Yes,
he was
yes.
totally surprised. He said, "Oh man, that's not us."
Champollion, he did. He was writing to his brother. You see. So what more do we need?
He said the
And
embarrassment
and,
was
and
he was totally embarrassed.
yes, he is talking about Europeans were not like I don't know
They
what
were
word to use,
savages.
but well, I don't think he said that like that,
No,
but
he said the way they was dressed was extremely crude
mm,
in dressed in animal skins.
mm. So that's one of them. There's Benny Hassan as well, and there's many other depictions
Yes, there
that
was a few of them.
that I have shown from many different museums. You see, so it's clear that the Asiatics were not black skinned.
But
They were not black.
but
And when I say Asiatics, I'm talking about the people from the Levant, people from the Near East
the
and Middle
Levant.
East. And I'm talking, of course, about the time period of Kemet. Now, if people want to tell me once
Now
again,
the Levant is only looked at from the viewpoint of the Greeks. Yes.
well, regardless of the name, this different geographic location. Now,
No,
once again,
I don't. What I mean by that there is the reason why it's called the Levant,
mhm.
where it's been given the name as the Levant.
Well, I don't know exactly why it was given that name. Levant is
Well,
French,
what
like
does
you
it
said.
mean?
Well, Levant, like you said, it means rising. You know.
Right. So hence, in relationship to the sun, because that's the only thing,
Mhm.
in geographically speaking, orientate. Hence the term Orient. Yes, and the term Orient. Even Asia itself. What does Asia mean?
I don't know. I don't know.
Ah, you see, we know a lot. Yeah, we know very
Mm,
little about the lot that we know.
mm.
It's very important. So Asia simply means east.
There we go. But
Like
the thing,
Anatolia, right? There's another word that means east. But so then we're looking at direction, so then we could only see the east from the west, true? If and I'm talking about geographically speaking, you wouldn't be in the east talking about the east, like you wouldn't talk. You're talking about the west per se. I'm just talking about the way I'm talking about the way words are used.
I know, but the thing is that I'm talking about the population from these different
Right.
geographic locations, and we know about their phenotype, we know about their ethnicity, and we know for sure they're not black. And once again, if people want to tell me 10,000 years BC, 50,000 years BC, those people are black, I'm like, hey, I don't deal with that type of dates. But when it comes to like 2000 BC, as early as even 2500 BC with the standard of ore, up to our days, the phenotype has not changed much. Those people were white skinned. Those people are not black, and that's one of the biggest problem that we have. And indeed, we have many elders, many scholars who did claim that those people were black for many reasons. But the main reason, I'm pretty sure and confident, is because of the Abrahamic literature. Because we want to put ourselves in the mix. I mean, just the story
Oh,
the sons of Noah itself, it just doesn't make sense when people
okay, but
are
curious,
making.
right? So curious. So when we talk and that on that subject, so when we look at because I don't really put too much stone at there, except that when they talk about the sons of Ham and Ham himself, that's all black people, yeah.
If we
But,
read the,
no, I'm not talking about curse wise. I don't mean that there.
I understand, I
I'm just talking
understand,
about the
I
geographical
understand,
areas that their names is
I understand.
associated with.
Well,
Like Kush. Kush is
Kush.
associated with Africa.
Well,
Mizraim is associated with Africa. Yes?
Misraim is the Hebrew word for Egypt.
Ah,
Just like the,
Africa.
just in Africa, yes. Just
Right.
like in Arabic, the name for Egypt, the way they say Egypt, we say Egypt, they say Misra. So we can see the
Yes.
root is the
I
same.
get it.
Misra,
But
Misraim.
the reason why we say Egypt is simply because
Yeah, bro.
the Europeans changed the name or made the name from the how they call it is
Head capital.
Kush.
it's a calc, it's a what they call a calc from het kapata,
Head
yeah,
capital, indeed.
right.
So
Kush.
we have Kush, which is Kash in the Middle nature
got
is
that,
Kash,
got that.
and
In
now,
Greek
which was
writing.
which was
in Hebrew, apparently people say that Kush means like black or something like that, Kushi.
well
But
yes,
but
but no,
but
the in the Bible, when we read the Bible, it's a synonym for Ethiopia.
It's talking about Arabia though.
No. See, stop it,
well,
stop it, stop, stop, stop,
well,
stop, stop, stop,
the-
stop, 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 stop,
I
stop,
got the
stop, stop, stop.
genetics on it.
Oh man,
I don't know.
I'm talking about biblical. I'm talking about biblical.
I don't
Biblically,
When we
it
know.
looks
talk,
like it's talking about
when,
Arabia.
when we're talking about that, that doesn't come into the general knowledge of the Arabians until after the fact.
No,
But the thing is
Not
that
into not before the fact. Lord
the
have
thing is,
mercy.
no,
no.
we have I think Punt out of the
Yes.
genealogy. So some people will say Puntland, which will be somewhere around Somalia. But
Somalia. Some people
even
even say Libya, but that's all Africa. I'm good.
Well,
yeah, but the thing is that
EA Wallace Budge, Flanders Petrie, they say it's Arabia.
that's what
EA
they
Yes, but I'm
Wallace
say.
telling
Budge,
you that on
That,
both sides of the
Dimitri,
sea,
Dimitri
that's
Meek,
Red Sea. God,
they all
okay.
say it's
But
Arabian.
okay. Now that being said, if we
they don't
read
all say that it's Arabia. They it's
they don't all say
inclusive.
that.
Yes,
They
they
don't
It's
all
do.
say that.
no.
They don't,
EA
I'm
Wallace
saying
Budge,
one
Dimitri
slow
Meek,
down. I'm sorry.
Flanders
One
Petrie.
second. I'm saying that it's inclusive, love. That's why they said early on to the brother that
okay,
Ethiopia was not known geographically as that one area, but they said they was talking about phenotypes. Yes, that
Hmm.
black people, and they said even that they were the black Ethiopians to the east was straight haired. The black Ethiopians to the west was curly haired. Yeah,
Hmm.
that is part of the that's part of the narrative as well. But
Hmm.
then we're talking about people across the said lands of inclusive. They was talking about across the way because we were talking about um, um like I said was color descriptions, phenotypes. Yes, that's what we're dealing with. So
What
I understand when you say that
what
there,
do
but
Drusilla say?
hence we find a place like Angkor Wat. Yes. And when we look at Angkor Wat, what do we see in Angkor Wat? When we see the Buddha, who do we see when we see the Buddha?
Drusilla Dungy Houston said it too.
okay. Now, if you don't mind, brothers, if you don't mind,
Go
brothers,
ahead.
even if even if
Oh,
in
shit.
assuming that in the Bible it says that the son of Ham was called Congo, Nigeria, and South Africa, it doesn't change the fact that if people want to believe that we have one guy, we have three sons, and one son brings forth black people, one son brings forth Asians, and one son brings forth European, more power to him. But it just doesn't make sense at all. Now, why do we know he's talking about black people?
Eponymous. It's eponymous.
Well, you can say that, but it's not historical. It's not factual at all. And
It's epon-
here
the
is why we
migration
know it's talking.
pattern is factual. The back
Which
migration
migration
into
pattern?
Africa from West
Yeah,
Asia
but
is a fact.
that's not what we're talking about.
Into or out
This is
of?
not what we're talking about. The thing is
That's what
that
the
here,
biblical narrative is
okay,
saying.
No, it doesn't.
and okay,
Stop,
okay.
stop
Well,
lying.
the biblical narrative says that Noah, I'm sorry, Jonah spent I don't know how many days inside of a
In a
whale.
veil.
We're talking about
Eh, eh,
Noah.
eh,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But
But
the
you said the
mythology of
biblical
it all.
narrative. You see, so you can pick and choose what you want.
Yes.
The biblical narrative is not factual at all. It's not
Or
well
Does
at
talking
all.
modern
snake.
It's not
does modern
historical.
genetics say that? Modern genetics says that there was a massive back migration from the Near East back into Africa, beginning about
So what
approximately
you're telling me is that they
seventy
moved out of
thousand
Africa,
years
they moved
ago.
back into Africa?
70,000 years, all the way up
So you're
until
telling
about
me they
three
moved
thousand
out
years
of
ago.
Africa, then back into Africa, yes?
Yes,
All right, so then we're not talking about Eastern. We're not talking about Asian, we're talking about African. What are you
if
talking
they
about?
stayed there 100,000
Oh, see,
years,
there you go. But then so then they changed something, then they came back, but they remained what they were
I got the
somehow.
genetics on deck, Elder.
I'm not that's what I'm saying. So then they didn't change then. If you're talking about
I never
genetically,
said
they
they
remained the
changed.
same.
I never said they
So you
changed.
did. So they came
No,
back
no, I did
into
not.
after 70. You said after 70,000 years they came back as something different.
I never
Yes,
said, no, I didn't. You're putting words in
but
my mouth. I
okay.
never said they
Yeah,
changed. I said
yeah,
they
but
gestated.
17,000 years
Gestated
ago,
doesn't mean change. Interesting.
No,
17,000 years ago, we don't have any depictions whatsoever.
Thank you very much.
70,000.
There's
Well,
no
So,
such.
70,000, we know they were African.
So that's what I'm
well,
saying.
but
So
what?
what did they change in 70,000 years then?
I never said they changed. I said they came back.
You
I
said they
said
gestated.
they stayed in the Arabian Peninsula
You
over
said
100,000.
gestated.
They stayed in the Arabian Peninsula over 100,000
What
years.
do you
And then
mean
they
by
started coming
gestated?
back in at 70,000.
What do you mean by gestated?
Um, Developed, uh,
Developed.
somewhat changed. Well,
Somewhat changed.
when we look at the factors,
That's somewhat changed.
when we look at the
What changed?
factors that
What
produce
changed?
mutation, is diet, sexual selection, and environment.
What
That
changed?
affects any one of us as a human being.
Mm,
Diet,
mm.
sexual selection, and climate. That affects any one of
So
us.
so so
That's a
what
natural
what
process.
what importance? So answer me. What importance do you place upon the change of them coming back into Africa caused?
I'm not placing any importance on the change. I just said they simply gestated for 100,000 years in the Arabian Peninsula and the Levant.
Meaning what?
Just meaning, what it
Well,
is.
the Islamic religion isn't that ill, so they didn't come back with Islam, did they?
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
Okay, now that being said, that being agreed upon, it's like me saying the Australians are black because you can look at the Aborigines. But the people, when we say Australians, we're thinking about those Europeans who conquered and invaded over there. So saying, okay, the Arabs are black because 70,000 years ago they were black, I'm sorry, but it just doesn't make sense at all.
No, they
It
were
doesn't
still
make sense
black.
at all.
They were still black at the time of Kendar culture. We can find Kendar culture. We can
What
find
time
tiles.
period? What time period is
Hey,
that?
Kendar is like AD time. They were still black.
Yes, yeah, what time period in AD?
Kendar culture. I'm not sure.
take a
Okay,
Maybe
guess.
maybe 300 maybe 300 AD.
now
Kendar, Kendar
how could
is
they
all
be
black.
how could they be black in AD time when in BC time they were white?
Well, there were mixed populations in the Arabian Peninsula. The Hejaz definitely was black. The Hejaz, the
Says who?
Western
Says
Strip.
says who, brother? Says who?
We can genetics proves it.
No, but
The
no,
Shamar Arabs
it's always the
that
same.
carry EM96 are black.
You read genetic papers and you make a conclusion. That's not what the genetic study
No,
says.
brother, I
Like
got
like
20 years in these books, just
yeah,
like yourself.
but you see, brother, this is what you can do. All those people that you're quoting, contact them and ask them. Well, those
Drusilla,
people,
I can't contact Drusilla Dungy Houston.
no, she's not the one. You haven't read her about genetic studies.
I always
I'm
quote
talking.
Drusilla.
No, hold on. Did you quote her talking about genetics?
Can't, because it wasn't
Yeah,
domination on it.
I do
Okay.
use her. Yeah.
You see, that's the thing with our brother Afroasiatic. When a question is not convenient to him, he acts like he haven't heard, like
Oh,
he
well,
hasn't heard the question. Now, you can ask all the geneticists that you quote, and you can ask them whether Arabs of the 7th century black. They will tell you. I'm pretty sure they will tell you no, they were not black.
you're wrong.
Why don't you
Shaka.
ask them?
You're wrong, Shaka.
But why don't you ask
The
them?
studies are out, brother.
But what? And do the studies say that they were black?
Yes, they're African.
No,
The studies
brother, you
say,
can't do that.
listen,
It doesn't say
no,
that at
no, no, no,
all.
no, 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 no. Listen, the Dinka skulls,
You know,
Dinka.
Hello,
Hold on,
hello,
wait,
hello,
wait,
hello.
wait.
When you say Dinka
Dinka,
skulls,
we really,
Dinka
how can you tell a skull
scrolls
is a
in the
Dinka?
Chalcolithic
No,
Levant.
no, excuse, stop. How you can tell a skull is Dinka?
Science, the measurement
okay,
of the
Science?
skull. Yeah,
okay, all
science.
right, okay.
What?
Okay,
Yeah,
The
okay,
science.
science?
okay.
Seriously? That's the
Yes.
Now,
same science that the guy used to say that the Caucasian science skull was the most beautiful in the world?
No, Dinka. They're saying that they're beautiful Dinka, Noor,
No, I
Allure.
said to you that the only reason why the guy knew it was from
but
Caucasian
you know,
caucus was because the guy said, I sent this for you from the caucus.
you
So
Otherwise,
know,
I don't think that a skull could tell you what phenotype. It can't
why
tell you what the ethnicity of that person.
why would the
In
European
other words,
science
you can say it's
lie?
either a Negro type of skull or Caucasian or European type of skull or a Mongolian type of skull, but I don't think it could tell you actually a Dinka from Masai.
They say Dinka, Maasai were in the Chalcolithic Levant, which is 5,000 years ago. You shaking your head, Elder, but you got to
Because
look at the
I don't
research.
see you though, but you can see me shake my head. But
You got to look at the research.
I'm saying to you one thing, right?
but
I'm saying to you one thing, right? That how can measurements of skull tell you where the skull actually came from, or who it actually belonged to, besides
okay,
a
okay,
general
okay,
I'm
okay,
description?
not an
okay, okay, okay,
anthropologist.
okay. All right, okay. Now, brother, can you share that stuff you're talking about that they found Dinka in the Levant? Dinka skulls in the
Yeah,
Levant. Can you share that with us?
yeah, of course.
All right. Because what I want now, I want the name of the person who wrote the article. I will look for his contact detail. I will send him an email, and I will ask a question myself. And
Makes sense to me.
I hope he will reply because the Dinka people, those are the people from Sudan. I don't know how they
Same.
say they will find some uh, people of a tribe of Sudan
I
in
mean,
the Levant.
I could
You
think
know,
I could think people travel over the world. I'm just trying to figure out how you could say it's a Dinka. People travel over the wild, but I'm just saying, like I could be found in the Levant 1,000 years from now because I've been over there. But they can say I'm from Bermuda, really?
but the things that I mean, all those the stuff that he's quoting. Now, what's the name of? Okay, first I need to find out that he says that because I don't want to send an email, and he's replying to me. Oh, I never said that. It wouldn't be a good look.
Not at
Um,
all.
but I can still ask him. Do you consider that those people were black? I mean, all those people who claim that the elves are black, that and I'm talking about
Jabari done
oh,
that, you know.
Jabari.
Yeah, Jabari done that. Somebody was making a claim. The guy from the ATOS movement of the indigenous movement, right? And he made a claim, right? And they made when Jabari checked the source, he wrote to the guy, say, "Hey, I see somebody's doing this to your stuff." He said, "Oh, he knew about it, but because it was a black guy, right? He wasn't gonna fight about it, but he knew about somebody plagiarizing his stuff, right? But it says I'm good looking out." But I'm just saying that stuff, as you're just saying, those happen, right? That people use other people's stuff. They say this and that, because the guy said no. That what he's saying is not what he was saying. Yeah. what the guy who plagiarized the stuff was saying is not what the guy who wrote the stuff was saying in his what he wrote.
But
Misusing it, in other words.
that's why most black people claim that the Arabs and the Hebrews and all these people, Sumerians or black, that's what they usually do. They quote other people and make conclusions that the original authors never made. Hence why we hear things about the biblical genealogy, which just doesn't make sense at all. And that's how desperate they are. That's really how desperate they are. Because when we read the what is referred to as the curse of Ham, we know that it's talking about black people because of
That's
what they're
foolishness.
saying. They're those people who came forth with
Yeah,
those stories.
That's
And
evilness.
here when we read when we read what's called the Midrash Rabbah,
Mm-hmm.
the Bereshit Rabbah, which
Yeah,
is rabbinic literature,
I got you.
right? Now here we have three rabbis. Now is it on the screen? Let me check. Yes, it is on the screen. So we have three rabbis. We have R. Joseph, we have R. Huna, and R.
Yeah, became
Shiza
black.
Bar Abba that comment on assault on Noah committed by Ham already inside the ark. And because of this act, his descent became black. And
Yeah.
here is a quotation from Robert Graves and Raphael Patai. And it says, now I can no longer engender the fourth son
For
whom I would
son,
have
he might would have.
gave the order,
That's
your
right.
children shall serve you and your brothers. It has to be Canaan, your firstborn, that they shall take as a slave. And since you have made me incapable of doing bad things in the darkness of the night, the children of Canaan will be born ugly
And
and
black.
black. And I'm gonna
Because
stop
it
there
twists.
because you know
I read all of that craziness.
yeah, but I'm gonna stop there. I'll
But
share the link.
have you ever read the Kibble Nagas?
Nagas, this stuff from Ethiopia.
Yes. The
No,
Kibble, it was the Kibble Nagas and the Feta Nagas. Yes,
no,
one
I've
is the
heard
glory of
about
the
them, but
king, and
I
one
never read them.
Kibble Nagas, the glory of the kings. Feta Nagas is the Lord of the
Mm,
kings. Yes,
mm.
well, the both of the Feta Nagas is really European, whatever.
Yeah,
But
I have it.
in the Kibble Nagas, it has the story about about. It says that the
Queen of Sheba.
Yep.
yeah, no, it has
Solomon.
the it talk about the sons of Noah, right? And it says yes, and I found it so interesting when I read it. Um, um it says that the Japhites is the artisans, right? And the Shemites is the merchants, right?
Mhm.
And the Hamites is the slaves. I said, what?
I
But
never
that
saw
makes
that.
them Hamites though.
I
The
never saw
Hamites.
that in the Kibbutz Nagas.
You never saw that,
In
huh?
the Kibbutz Nagas, I have the
Keep
Kibbutz
reading, son.
Nagas.
Keep reading.
I have it. I never
Or
saw
keep
where it
reading.
said the Hamites were slaves.
Keep reading.
I've
Keep
had it a
reading.
long. I've had it for years.
Don't worry about it. Like I said, I'm been in the Orthodox Church since 1977.
Hmm. Coptic,
Huh?
Coptic.
I said Orthodox Church.
Oh, okay, okay.
Coptic is not Orthodox.
All right. Okay.
Coptic is Coptic. I'm
Yes.
talking about the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, and they're not the same.
All right. So,
So
Brother Franziani, do you
isn't
have
the
that quote that
Solomonic
said? Do you have
tradition
that quote? Do you
Ethiopian?
have do you have that quote that says that they found Dinka skulls in the
In the
Levant? Do you have
Levant.
that quote?
In Dano, Syria?
But
In Dano,
whoever made
Syria?
that
Yeah.
quote, okay,
Who?
can you share it with us, please?
No, I didn't find that. I didn't find it yet, though.
Okay, all right.
I'm still searching for it.
Now, okay, well, that's settled. That's settled. But this is the big problem with our people. This is the big problem with our people. We've read the exegesis. I'm not sure if I pronounced the word correctly in English, but this is those people. Those are the one who came forth with those stories. You see, so we have the explanation about the biblical stories, and that's what the Mizra Rabbah and what is the other name?
Yes. It's not even the
Uh,
Torah. It's the explanations for the
this is
Torah.
basically the Talmudic literature, the
I got
Talmud,
it.
which, if you
Yes.
want to make an analogy, we
Torah
can
is not
kind
the
of
Talmud.
compare as
Yeah.
what the Hadith are to
Yes.
Islam. The Talmud are kind of the equivalent of
Yes.
the Hadith.
It's the
And they
I don't
say
exegesis
respect.
of the
I don't
Talmud.
the
respect
exegesis.
hadith.
It's exegesis of
What?
the Torah.
Yes.
I don't respect hadith.
What you have the right to not respect the
You
Yeah.
say
hadith,
he
but
doesn't. You don't
Muslims,
respect the hadiths.
but
No.
Muslims
No.
worldwide respect the hadith.
So
Without the
so so
hadith,
so so so.
we don't know
What
what
were you?
Muhammad did.
What were you before? What were you before the Muslims came around?
I put the Quran over hadith. Somehow
No, what were
hadith.
you? What were you before the Quran came around?
What were we before the Quran came around?
Yes.
Uh, we were African.
Oh.
African. What? I'm not a liar. What do you mean? I'm a researcher, not a liar.
Were we Muslims?
Huh?
Were we
Well,
Muslims?
it depends on if
No,
you.
it can't depend on anything.
Were
Yeah,
we
No,
Muslims?
no,
can
no, no, no,
depend.
no, no, no. It
It
cannot depend on
depends on
anything.
etymology.
No, 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 no. The
No.
question here
Yeah,
is
yeah,
were
yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
Muslims?
You were
Yeah,
quick
yeah,
to
yeah.
say we're Africans. Why aren't
Salam.
you so quick to answer?
The
Were we
word
Muslims?
salam is older than Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon him. The word salam is older than
No, no,
Muhammad.
no, no, no. Stop it,
Yeah,
stop it,
yeah, yeah,
stop it,
yeah, yeah,
stop
yeah.
it.
Were we
Stop it, stop it,
Muslims?
stop it.
Were we
Stop it.
Muslims?
SLM as a consonant root is
Okay,
older
Stop it.
than
okay,
Stop
Muhammad.
it.
okay,
Stop
okay,
it.
No,
okay.
no,
Stop it.
no,
Now,
no, elder.
okay, okay,
No.
fine.
Ay, ay,
I
ay, ay,
agree. I
ay.
agree with you. I agree with you. Shalom, the Hebrew shalom,
Yes.
came before
What
Muhammad.
does
I agree
shalom
with you.
Thank
mean?
you.
I
Thank
agree
you.
with you.
Peace.
What
Now,
does shalom mean?
yeah,
Peace.
it means
Peace.
peace.
And
Peace.
Okay, then.
blackness.
So what's the problem?
Peace and
Yeah, but
blackness.
no, because he wanted to make that point. He made his point, and I agree with his point. Now, my question is, brother Afro-Asiatic,
That was the question, though.
before the Quran came, were we black people Muslims? Were Africans Muslims?
Yeah,
Well,
that's the question.
in the Levant, they had
Anywhere.
the salam was in Mesopotamia.
Hella,
It
hella,
was
stop,
in
stop. Why,
You
why you
was
see,
keep
in
introducing
Sumerian,
this word shalom?
brother. You see,
Akkadian,
brother
Where's this
that's
word
Afro-Asiatic,
black.
salam coming from?
brother Afro-Asiatic.
Sumerians are
Being
black.
you're being disingenuous right now.
No, I'm not.
But it's all good because I will not force you to answer a question. You know, if you don't want to, it's all good.
I'm
It's
telling
Hold
just
it a
you.
minute, hold it a minute, hold it a minute, hold it a minute, hold it a minute. You asked him, were we Muslims? Because I said at the time, right, because before what we were before we were Islamic, right? He said we were African, right? Before the Quran came, we were African. He says yes,
Yes, sir.
but we were Muslims. He's saying no because the term of shalom.
No, it's not exactly that, brother. Elder, he's not saying we're not Muslim. He doesn't want to say that we're not Muslim because he knows we're not, because there was no such thing
Of
as
course not.
Islam as a religion. So he's just talking about salam because obviously it's inconvenient for him to admit that Africans were not Muslims because they like to say that we have always been Muslim. That's what Elijah Muhammad said, that we were
But
Muslim by
that's
nature and so on.
foolishness.
But
But
they
that's
call it.
foolishness because hell, hell,
But
hell,
but
hell,
brother,
because Abraham, right, is supposed to be the father of these three things.
Mm.
But yet, what were we before Abraham?
yeah,
Because obviously the word salam is long before Abraham.
The Creator is our
but
Father, not
but but
Abraham.
but 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 the thing, see, brother, what you call foolishness, they call it supreme wisdom.
Creator
They
is our
teach
Father.
they teach that Africans are living a jungle life. They teach that Africans are not
What
civilized.
foolishness is
You
that?
know, that's their supreme wisdom.
Well,
See,
That's
that's
you know,
false,
supreme
Doctor.
foolishness.
oh, is it wrong? Okay, all right, okay. Now
It's total foolishness.
You're gonna say to show that
everybody,
same tired.
there it is.
So Shabazz was not permitted to stay in that area, so he took his family into the jungle of East Asia, which we now call Africa, to
How
make
many
a
times you
people
gonna show
close
this?
to nature. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, this is the origin of kinky hair, because we didn't have kinky hair prior to that. The hair on our head was like the hair on our eyebrows. The hair on your eyebrows straight, the hair on your head is not the same as the hair on your eyebrow. But the hair of every other people is the same as their eyebrow. Your eyebrow straight, your hair something different. Wouldn't you like the hair on your head to be as straight as the hair on your eyebrow? That's why you so busy frying it. That's why you so busy pulling it. Because your nature tells you that the kink I mean, you know, with I'm black and I'm proud, we got to learn to be proud of kinks, because most of your family of other black people on the earth, jet black. They didn't have no broad nose and thick lips and kinky hair. They were dark-skinned people, jet black, but they had straight hair, a thinner lip, a thinner nose. But we are marked as a different kind of black person. And we were rejected and despised, not only from the circle of the gods, but we were despised and rejected by all the other dark people of the earth. This is why today black people with kinky hair and broad nose and thick lips are rejected in every society. I want you to hear me well tonight. Yes, sir. Why are we rejected? Because the essence of beauty is in obedience and submission to God. And the essence of ugliness is when you rebel against God. And when you rebel against God, in your rebellion, you are marked with a certain mark of your rebellion, which is the disfigurement of your internal self, which manifests in the disfigurement of your external self. And this is why when you look at our people, wherever we are found on the earth, you find us either disfiguring ourselves physically, because we are disfigured on the inside because of rebellion.
There it is. We are disfigured. Our phenotype is the essence of ugliness.
That
Well,
guy, that guy is the epitome of religion. The worst thing that ever happened to humanity.
The question
When I say religion, I'm talking about Abraham and his
is he lying?
descendants.
The question is he lying?
Of course, it's lying.
of
How
course.
is he lying when
Because
modern?
you're talking. Answer me a question. Are you black?
Yes.
What's your pubic hairs like?
Who?
Your pubic hairs. Do you
Pubic
grow a
hair.
bird?
No. What?
Well, just let's say hair. Let's say hair. No, we
No,
don't
no,
have
no.
to talk about
Forget that,
pubic.
because that guy
No,
specifically pointed out his
No.
eyebrows, right?
My hair is
Mm.
naughty.
But he never said enough about a bird, because I see it's clean shaven,
Yeah.
right? But he's got his hair slicked back, right, in the conch style, right? But then does he fry his pubic hairs as well?
No, I don't. I don't know.
well,
Yeah. That's the question. A reason
well,
why I asked that question,
No.
right? The reason why I asked that question is because you, most people, I don't find hardly anybody with any naughty how can I say, eyebrows.
kinky,
I don't find
kinky
nobody with
eyebrows.
no kinky eyebrows,
Mm,
No.
right?
mm.
But if
But
you grew your bird out, right, it might get a little bit naughty,
Yeah.
right? But what about your pubic? Because then that's nobody. Because like I said, you shade it off, but does you shade? I'm saying to you, is all our hair is the same on our body?
Well, my thing
but
You have
is,
different grades to me.
no, but
listen,
the thing is that there's nothing scientific about what he said. He
it
said
is
that
Not at
just
all.
because
scientific.
well, okay, so it is scientific that we are marked because we rebel
No,
against God, and we are marked as a different kind of people, and our phenotype is the essence of ugliness. It's not scientific at all. That's a belief. That's a theology.
I'm talking about the migration pattern that he's
Yeah,
exemplified.
but he did not talk
Yeah,
about
but he
just a
never
migration
migration.
pattern, and
No,
But
he
and
didn't. He didn't talk
when he
about the
said
migration
Shabazz, he's
party.
talking about migration.
even if
He said
Wow.
we
Shabazz.
deal even if we deal only with the migration, he says that Shabazz went to the jungles of East Asia that we now call Africa. So
Hmm.
according to him, Africa is the
How did we?
jungles
How
of
did we
East
keep
Asia.
calling East Asia, Africa, East Asia? But it
Now you
like
see,
like
but it's so good. I'm just going to quote
such a
two things.
corruption
I'm just going to quote two
of
things. Just
misinformation.
now listen. Now this is the supreme wisdom of the Asiatic black men. And in what is known as the Muslim student enrollment, or the 120 for short, the 5 percenters have the same lesson, just a few words have changed. Now, question number
Yeah,
six: why does the devil call our people African? Answer: to make our people of North America believe that the people on that continent are the only people they have and are all savage. He brought a trading post in the jungle of that continent. The original people live on this continent, and they are the ones who strayed away from civilization and are living a jungle life. So, whenever you hear me say that the Asiatic black man, that the nation of Islam teach the Africans are living the jungle life,
mm-hmm.
it's not because I woke up and decided to say it, it's because it's
No,
their lesson that, by the way, for those who don't know, that they learn by heart. They learn by heart the Africans strayed away from civilization and are living a jungle life. He doesn't say they used to live a jungle life. He doesn't say they were living a jungle life. He says they are living a jungle life. And just so that you can get a very clear picture, if I'm quoting what Elijah Muhammad said, now here we have the very famous book called The Theology of Time. Now, this is actually a speech, so you can find the speech online on YouTube. And we can see that on page 92 of The Theology of Time, Elijah Muhammad said, "You will never be able to convert me. No, because you should first do like the preacher in the jungle of Africa and Australia and other far off Pacific islands. Preach to the savage to hide his nakedness. This is the first preaching we give to a savage, to cover your nakedness." And he added, "We don't consider Africa's people of the jungles anything for us to follow or be taught by. If you're not civilized, you can't lead a civilized person." Same book, page 92 to 93. If you tell me to go to Africa, I will go there. But don't tell me to go there to be civilized. I'm already civilized and I'm ready to civilize Africa. I think that makes it very clear. And for those who don't know, Elijah Muhammad also said that um, the only dignified people are Christians and Muslims. That's what he said.
what does it say about Adam in the garden, Adam and Eve in the garden?
You mean Elijah Muhammad?
No, 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 no. What does the Bible say about Adam and Eve in the garden after they ate the apple, after they ate the fruit, after they ate of the forbidden tree?
Well, they had to work, and the
No, no, no,
labor
no,
will
no.
be
They said they
painful.
was found to be. They thought themselves naked, so
Naked,
they
yes.
hid themselves, right?
Yes.
So that means they was. So God made savages. True.
I mean, brother.
According to that theology that we just saw, according to that theology that we
But
just saw,
you
they
know,
civilized themselves by putting certain leaves together. True.
yeah.
So God made savages.
But I mean, they always find a way around that. They always find 10,000 ways to go around that.
Can I get
Right?
one more source in to combat that?
But
Uh,
I'm
uh, uh, uh,
saying, but,
well, feel
but I'm
free,
saying,
feel free, feel free,
according to that
One more
theology,
source.
feel free, because
God,
obviously you want to defend your teaching.
No, of course not.
Yes, you
according
do.
to that, but you would agree, my father, that according to that theology,
God created
God
savages.
made savages. He created savages from the beginning. So that was our natural state then, yes?
According to the Bible, it was
You
our
see
natural state.
screen up, shelter?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay.
Right now, you're on the page that says genetic ancestry, abstract.
Has the people. The has the, yes. I know about
Oh,
this
hold
has
on.
the people.
Yeah, take this key.
You know,
Hold on.
you know what they said when the guy asked him who's the God?
Yeah, you see the
They
screen?
Brother,
said,
yes, we can see. Can you please share the link in the chat, brother?
You know I don't know how to do that, Shaka.
no, 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 no.
Here,
Here, go
here,
up to the
here-
top of the page. There you
here's
go.
the
That's
source
that's
right
the link
here.
there.
Genetic ancestry of Hadza and Sandawi peoples.
Okay, hold on. Wait,
Population
just one
structure
second. Yeah,
in
just
Africa.
one second. Hold on, brother Afro Asiatic. Now, you see just above the title,
Uh, right.
you have, yeah. Keep going up. Keep going
Yep.
up. Keep
Keep
Uh-huh.
going up.
going. Yes.
Yeah, up, all the way up, all the way up, all the way
That's
up, up,
that's the
up, up,
furthest
up.
I could go.
No, okay, no, just click on. Okay,
Absolutely.
yes, that's
See?
it. Click on this. Click on this. Yes, that's
Okay.
it. And now you can do right click copy or control plus. I don't know if you have a Mac. If you have a Mac, it's command. But if you have Windows, you can do Control plus C, and that's the way you
Control
copy.
C.
Yes, Control C,
Yeah,
and
you
now you
copy it,
can
then you can
you can
send
you
it.
can paste it in the chat as you normally do. You can do
Yes.
Control V, Control plus
Okay.
V.
Now Control V.
In the chat, in the chat.
Yeah, you gotta take go into the chat because you copied it
Yes,
now, and then
yes,
when you get into the chat, you can copy it, you can paste it into the chat.
into the chat.
Okay, I'm technically handicapped.
Well, you're working it
No,
right
no,
now,
no.
so
Hold
you
on,
got to
hold
paste
on.
it.
Okay. Check this out. Do Control plus X.
Control X.
Yes,
Okay.
that's it. Now go to the chat as you normally do if you want to type something.
Go.
No, the chat of the live stream.
Ah.
Live stream, where you are,
Um.
where you trying to present.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes,
there,
okay,
yeah, there we
okay,
go.
Okay.
and
Here.
okay, yeah.
Yes.
Go at the bottom and then just paste. Okay, go to yes, that's it. And now do Control V.
Control V. Okay.
Yes,
Send.
and then yes, send yes. Okay, I
See,
got
I'm
it. Thank
learning,
you.
Shaka.
Yeah, but now you know.
You're schooling me.
Now you know. Okay, okay.
Okay.
Now feel free to go back to your code there.
Yeah. Now I done lost it.
It's right there.
Uh, I
Just go
think.
back click. Go back
Back
click,
click.
yeah, back click, see where it is. There
Oh,
you go.
thank you. See, y'all schooling me.
Mm.
Yeah, this is the genetic ancestry of the Hazan Sandawi peoples reveals ancient population structure in Africa. This is just the abstract. You want to read the whole abstract, Shaka?
No.
What
No?
I don't. I don't have any preference. You're the one who wanted to,
Oh,
to
well,
defend what we heard. So feel free.
they reached this conclusion. Our results, our results indicate that West Eurasian ancestry in Eastern Africa is more precisely the Arabian parent of Cushitic ancestry relative to out of Africa migration.
so so so
Hata
so
and
so
Sandawi
so so
emerged
hold on, slow
early.
down. So you're saying to me that this has the people came from Arabia?
I'm not saying it. These doctors
No,
are
hold on,
saying
hold
it.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Daniel
I
Schreiner,
read about these. I read about these
Ethiop,
has the people several years
Ethiopians.
back, right? I read about these has the people several years back, right? This sister sent me an article. I actually spoke to the Tanzanian person, a minister in Bermuda when he came down. I was doing a presentation to the on the African Heritage Diaspora Trail, right?
Hmm.
Now there's has the people, right, who being marginalized in the in country. When they say the in country, Tanzania is not necessarily the in country. They've been limited to Tanzania, right? But they used to. There was the nomadic people that traveled for 40. But they had a vast area. They have never left Africa. Now you can say the genetics can say that, but they have never left Africa. They said they
This is
never left
true.
Africa.
According to
How
genetics,
interesting that now you can say to me that they came from out Arabia.
I'm not saying it. The
How
geneticists are
interesting.
saying it, Elder. The
No,
geneticists,
I'm saying that this
not
is
me.
one reason why I don't trust these bloody people because they said
Well,
the also the other people came from out of middle of Africa, the Barbers. I got something that said that too. I put it up in a paper that I wrote. But now for them to say that the has the people who never left Africa,
the Hausa,
this but they said the same thing about
the
the
Hausa.
they said the same thing about the Australians. I don't like that term, but the Australian people was more akin to the Asians than they were to any Africans.
Yeah, but when they say Asians, they're not talking about like Koreans or anything. They're talking about like Chihuahua.
Well, I don't think the Koreans are original to Asia either.
No, they're not. They're not. But they're talking about Afro Asians. They're not talking about Koreans and
I didn't like that term
Chinese.
Afro.
But
It's African Asians. Afro. Man, I'm 60 years old, 62 next month, right? And when
yes,
I was a young boy in Bermuda, the only time I know about Africa was Afro pick because it's the Afro hairstyle. So now I'm finding that people use the Afro to mean African, but they don't say African. They say Afro to make it seem like we're not talking about Africans.
yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah,
Afro style right there, right? Afro style. Afro
yeah,
style was that Afro that we used to have when I was a little boy.
right.
Yeah, but it came from Africa with this Afro picks
Yes, sir.
instead of the straight hair that my mama used to kill me with, try to pull my hair out of my skull. But I'm
Right.
saying now that I'm looking at this term Afro used to disassociate from Africa.
No, I don't think so.
Well, you didn't say African Asian.
I did say that's my title, Afro-Asiatic. That's my name.
Ah, that's what I'm saying. Afro does it mean African?
Yes,
How?
it's abbreviated.
How? From what?
Afri, Afar.
No way. Bullshit. I'm telling you that when I was a little boy, Afro meant a hairstyle.
Yeah, yeah,
So now
but
that's what I'm saying. But
But
now I knew it was from Africa.
in scholarship they abbreviated
But
it.
now, but now I'm finding that the people are trying to lie to me now and say
No,
Afro-Asiatic, which not saying African. I'm
not
saying
me.
if you're going to say African because they say Asiatic,
When
so
I say
I got a
African,
layer mass of Asiatic, but I don't got a layer mass of Afro.
I mean African
Unless I put it there myself because I know. But somebody who doesn't know is not going to
in
say
invasion geography.
Afro is from Africa.
Like the genetic source is just saying, which is very interesting, and that's not the only source that says it. But Kush was produced not from a splitting event, but a mixing event of Afro-Arabian DNA and Nilotics.
Kush, as the brother said, Kush is from Cash. Yes, Cash is one of the names of the what they call the Nubian dynasty. Yes, the start of the Nubian dynasty, and his name is Kashta.
but the things that this study talks about 70,000 BC,
No, not that
50,000
one.
BC.
That one's
Okay,
not that
what
old.
time period? What time period is it?
I don't.
Roughly, roughly,
We
just
went,
roughly, just roughly.
uh,
20,000 BC, 10,000 BC. What
I would
is it?
say probably 10, about 10,000.
Okay, 10,000 BC, which is
I'm
like
guessing.
10,000 years, 10,000 years before Prophet Muhammad. And that's the time period of interest for those who claim that the Arabs are black, the Arabs of the 7th century. So, once again, 10,000 BC, when it comes to 1500 BC, also, well, let's say 1000 BC, we have the
Mhm.
depiction from Kemet, and they clearly depicted those people as white skin. So, it's all good.
Not
I
all of
mean,
them.
the thing, like I said
Not
before,
all of them,
for
Shaka.
those who hear, come again?
I said not all of them, Shaka.
Come on, I'm sorry.
I said not all of them. All of them were not white. They're not even all white today. We see a lot of Aryanized
No,
Arabs
no,
in
no,
the
no.
Levant.
When I say white, you know what I mean. I don't mean someone that looks like an inhabitant of Norway. You know what I'm saying? But even if it's someone who is like a has the skin tone of a Spaniard,
Yeah,
or an Italian, that's still a white man.
yeah.
That's still a European white man or Caucasian. So the thing is that just like people talk about the Grimaldi man,
Yeah.
that will be as some people say, a black man in Europe.
Mhm.
You guys don't call yourself European. The only reason why you call yourself Asiatic is because of the Abrahamic belief system. You try to claim that it's due to genetic and history and facts.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
if it was due to history, genetic, and facts, you will
I show
also
nothing but
call
facts.
yourself a European. You would have the name Euro Afro Asiatic, for example, or Afro
Yes,
Asiatic
I show
European.
names facts.
But
yes.
I show
I'm
facts.
I'm sorry.
I said I show facts. That's what I'm showing. Facts, scientific data.
But okay, why don't you have the euro in your name then?
Well, if we look at the earlier studies, they say Afro-Eurasians.
No, no,
That's
You know,
no,
the terminology.
I'm asking you why you don't bear the euro in your name.
Well, because you know my paradigm, and you know what I come from, Shaka. Like
Exactly. I know your paradigm, and we've heard your paradigm that we are disfigured, we are marked, we are the
science.
essence of
That's
ugliness.
science.
that's
Okay,
Modern
it's all
foolishness.
science.
good.
Back
It's all good.
That's
It's all good.
the
foolishness. That's
paradigm
It's all
that I
good.
come
foolishness.
It's
from.
all good. It's
That's
all
the
good.
most
It's all
foolish
good.
things I've ever heard, and that is
The genetic study
extremely
is foolishness.
self-hating. Like, no, that's extremely self-hating.
The genetic
Yes,
study
it
Extremely
is.
is
self-hating.
I
I done
the
agree.
genetic
business.
study.
It is.
It's
No,
Science.
extremely
no.
self-hating.
What Farrakhan
Science.
said. What Farrakhan
It's
said.
It's
extremely
science.
self-hating.
It is self-hate. But
Science.
because
Science backs what he says.
Extremely self-hating. Look,
Science
look,
backs what he
hey,
says.
look. Let me show you something, right? When I was a little boy, right, in the Bermuda, right, I learned something that I found out recently. You find it in Jamaica, even in America, right? It says that when you're black, get back. When you're brown, stick around. When you're yellow, you're mellow.
when you're
But say
white,
it
you're
right,
white.
you'd rather be white.
Hmm.
White's all right, like you said, right? But why did I learn that as a youth in 1963, right? Because I was 3 years old in 1963. I knew what I learned around then, right? But yet In 1663, it was a law, right? That the blacks got treated one way, the half white got treated another way, right? The three quarter white got treated another way, 4 quarter, and the last thing, because the last portion is going to be all white, right? Because every time that a white person intermingle with the previous color, right, they'd be treated differently according to the law.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It was a law,
Yes.
right, that they made, right? And up until today, the lighter you are, the better you're treated. You got to get that nails done right. You got to get that
Mm-hmm.
hair done right. You got
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that your hair, yeah, skin bleaching cream.
That's
You know what
correct.
I'm saying, right? The whole thing is going towards this white paradigm where it wasn't that
European did
way.
that shit to us, man.
Well, European and you,
No,
No,
but
it
hold on,
ain't
hold
no
on.
you. I'm telling you, the original was black.
But you
Bet on me, OG,
you
Elder.
saying the
Come
European
on,
did
man.
that? We just heard
Elder,
Farrakhan talking about.
degree out.
Okay, well,
I'm
that's
saying
okay. That's okay.
anybody that agrees with the Muslim faith
No,
is thinking like that. Anybody that
no.
agrees with the European faith, as far as Christianity,
Now,
is thinking that because
Shaka.
all of that paradigm, the whole society goes towards that.
Now, Shaka, tell the elder
Okay,
that
anti-black.
that's not
I don't care if
my
you're Muslim.
position.
I don't care if you're Jew, or I don't care if you're what's the other one? Christian. Yes, all of
Now,
them is a white supremacist ideology.
now,
That's
elder
where
But
that's all I see.
Shaka,
brother
could
Hiley,
bear with. Go ahead,
but brother
Shaka.
Hiley, brother
Yes.
Hiley, the reason they will tell you that it's not the case as far as they are concerned, and I'm talking about the black Christians, the black Muslims, and the black
All of them.
Jews or Hebrew Israelites, because there is really a difference between just a black Jew and a Hebrew Israelite. But we're not getting to the specifics. So the reason why they would tell you to disagree with that is because they claim that those Christians originally, the people who brought forth Christianity or Judaism, or some might say Hebrewism, and the people who brought forth Islam, they were black. That's what they are claiming, and they
Yeah,
claim that basically white European hijacked it. When
I
really the
guess
reality is
that's true.
that those black Christians, Muslim Hebrews, or like who claim that black people brought forth those belief systems, they are the one who are hijacking this
Yes,
cultural legacy. They are the
I
one
am.
who's doing what today we call cultural appropriation, and
Yes.
So,
it's going to take time
who
for us to establish that.
who
But
spoke
I'm on the job. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
who spoke the Afro-Asiatic language first? Was it
But
Africa.
brother,
Europeans or was it us?
brother, what does the Afro-Asiatic language have to do with the religion?
Okay, call it Tiana into as Theophilo Banga suggests, if we like to. We can call it that. Who
But
spoke
brother,
Tiana into first? Us.
no,
Right.
hold on. That Tiana into that's Asaim Hotep stuff. The
Yeah,
guy.
but I'm
Hold on.
saying
The
call it
guy.
what you
The
want.
hold on. The guy who claims to be a linguist for the last 10 years and he's not a linguist. He's fraudulent.
Of
I mean,
course, but I'm just
I don't
saying,
hate the guy. I don't hate the guy, but really, he's been fraudulent, and he's
whether
still
we
fraudulent
change the
nowadays.
name of the language family to Ooga Booga,
Can I say something?
Who spoke Ooga
Okay.
Booga
Can I
first?
say
It
something?
was not
We're
Europeans.
talking about this concept that come is I'm not going to call it the Abrahamic concept. Yes. Now, when I look at the history of where this thing is supposed to be coming from, this mystery history about the what is the oldest religious manuscript? How far back does it go? Because we must have to admit that the Quran came from out of it
Mhm,
didn't come from out of the mid earth.
mhm.
You know what I mean? Like how they say Muhammad got it. That is crap.
No,
I'm not even getting for that there
no, he
because
got it from a
all the
black
elements
man.
all the elements of it is prior to that. We could
Jabril was
find
a
the
black
elements
man.
prior to that.
The angel
Who?
Jabril was a man. He was a black man.
Man, I don't even care about all of that. I'm just saying to you that whatever Muhammad presented as far as Abraham and any other story that they got was prior extent to that.
Yeah.
It didn't just pop out of nowhere.
But even when we look at the name Abraham, the
I don't
AB
even care about
is
all of that, dear
Ib.
son. I'm saying to
IB,
you,
it's the heart in the Egyptian language.
I don't even care. That doesn't make a
It's not what
difference.
we
I don't
care
you see where
about.
you're
It's
going. Listen
But
to me.
hold
intellectual
Listen
on,
to me.
discourse.
hold on.
Listen to me, son. I don't know how old are you, sir.
I'm listening, Elder.
How old are you?
48.
All right, 48, right?
Hmm.
I said to you, right, that from 1977 right? Up until 2000, I was in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, why was I there? Because I was trying to find somewhere where I could get out away from whiteness,
Yes.
right? Now, I started my journey when I was 16 by buying some books, J.E. Rogers. By the time 70 came on, I found these black people, right, talking about the black church from out of Ethiopia,
Mm-hmm.
right? Laid by His Supreme Majesty. And they check, oh, yes, so oh, this is the true church, then telling me. So I go to there and they give me some literature to read, right? And they say, oh, yes, used to do this, used to do that, but we found the truth of the matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Through Queen of Sheba, one instance, through Candace, Queen Candace, another instance, yes?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Biblical, right? Great. I done the research what they gave me, right? Until I hit the 2000s, then I hit a wall and said, "Oh, I'm not gonna tell you the wall I hit, but anyhow, it made me go back to do the research. That's why I got Gerald Massey and all these anacalypses. But like I said, the first book I hit was J. Rogers,
Yes, sir.
right? So when I read this Gerald Massey book, I said, "Hold on a minute." I went back into my J. Rogers, Sex and Race. What did I see in there? In volume one, in there I saw, right, the Virgin Mary. But what was in there? It wasn't the Virgin Mary. It was Heru and his mother Est,
Mm-hmm.
the originals,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I
So I'm
said,
saying, oh, heard it. They still Ethiopians. They still the knowledge. They had the knowledge, but then they changed it. Why did they
Ethiopians?
change it? Why did the Ethiopians change it? They changed it because of what was happening in Egypt. What was happening in Egypt? But do you know what was happening in Egypt around the time that they changed it? Huh? This before Abraham among the Islamic people them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? What was happening in Egypt? Why the Ethiopians changed the entire story? Because they had to change the story because when I read the story and now when I compare the story that they said they changed into what they got now, they only changed the trappings, the inner workings. That's why today you go to Ethiopia today, you know what you can find? A white Jesus and a white Mary. It was
True.
very easy for them to do that. Because why? Because what was
European.
happening in what was happening in 300 BCE.
Uh-huh.
This goes back to 300 BCE.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking about history chronologically speaking, that we don't get anything until 300 BCE about who? About this very same people, right? That was supposed to have turned into Christians. Was supposed to be coming from out of that. So when I look at that history, I have to start thinking,
The Ye the
right?
Ye the Yeha
Hmm?
temple in the Ethiopian highlands is a Yahweh temple in
Man, I'm not even
Ethiopian
saying
highlands.
nothing about all of these lies that the people are
No,
telling you, man. I asked a priest, and
it's a structure.
I asked a person from Ethiopia when he came to me here. I asked him what the scripture mean. You know, they tell me, I'll tell you later, right? And what was the scripture? He says, "Does not nature itself teach you that for man to have long hair is disrespect, is a shame?"
In
I,
Aksum.
I asked him to explain the scripture. He couldn't explain it because why? Because that's a lie. Nature does not teach you that.
Right.
Nature teaches the exact opposite.
But in
So I'm
Aksum,
saying to you that when you tell me about this, that, and the other, I have a problem with it because I
right.
can't believe you or anybody else.
You
I have to do
shouldn't.
my own research because what you're telling me is not historically
But
accurate.
in Aksum and in the Yeha temple, that is evidence. They also have a company with the stonework that is South Arabian in Aksum and in the Yeha temple in the Ethiopian highlands. We have also in Eritrea in the same time period, we have the Adikawi and the incense burners that are written with South Arabian script at the same
South
time.
Arabian script.
So indeed, there is evidence that there was a migration from Arabia into
The
Aksum and
script
in
was in Africa
Eritrea,
before it went to South
in,
Arabia, though.
into Aksum in
Hear me?
Eritrea.
But
That's
I'm
a
saying the
fact.
script,
These are
the
facts.
script.
hold on. Is it South Arabian script or is it Nabatean script?
Musnad, South Arabian script, ancient Arabic.
Okay, okay. Well, what I will say, just for the record, we as a people, black people, we like to make acrobatic linguistics. Now, Abraham or Abraham, that doesn't have anything to do with the Ib of the Middle Nature, meaning heart, because the Ab stands for father. I just want to state that for the record.
No, when we look at the story of Abraham, it was all surrounded around the condition of his heart.
No,
The
that's
story
that's calling
because
So
that's
God
yeah,
calling
so,
it
he loved
that's
his son. He loved his
brother,
son more than
brother,
anything, and
brother.
that's what Allah asked him to sacrifice to
Brother,
prove
wait a
that he
minute.
didn't
But
love
that that
anything. It was all about the condition of the
that's
heart,
called a that's called an that's called an
just like Ma'at
interpretation. That's
and
called an
Eve.
interpretation because when we deal with the etymology,
It's
the Ab or
linguistic.
Abraham, if we deal with the Ab and we don't deal with the Av, this stands for
How
father,
is Abraham spelled? How is Abraham spelled in Arabic?
Ibrahim.
Abraham, right? With an
But that's in
id.
Arabic. That's
Same,
in Arabic.
same as
That
same as
that
Kemetic though.
oh, is it
that
really? So what about this
Yeah,
yeah.
book here?
really.
What about this book?
This is just a
You know about this
homonym.
book, right?
This is just a homonym. You know.
Afroasiatic. Do you know about this book?
Anacalypsis?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Godfrey Higgins?
Right. Yeah. So what does he? So what does he say about that there?
Basically, Godfrey Higgins said everywhere that he went and dug, he found that the people were
No,
originally black.
he said that the Abrahamic faith is concerning the zodiac sign of Aries.
Well,
It's a mythological story about Aries.
he can say that, you
Oh,
know.
he can't. Oh, he can't say that.
I said
Ah,
he
sin.
can. I
Oh,
said he
he
can say
can. Oh,
that.
he did say that,
He did.
and he did say that, and he proved his point. And what was his point?
Genetics proves my point.
Oh, genetics proves your point. Ah,
Yes, it does.
that Abraham existed. That's what you're telling me.
No, it
When it
proves
even says it says in the scripture itself that the story of Abraham is an allegory.
that it says that a massive migration that looked much
Oh,
like yourself came out of the
sin. So
Middle
your
East.
massive
Came
migration
out of the
by
Middle East.
Abraham of 70 people came into Egypt.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about science, Elder.
I'm well. That seems like the basis of your story.
And you got on the Royal Indigo. By the way, it looks sharp on you, Elder. Yes, sir.
But the whole problem
You look
is
sharp
that
in
we're
that
talking
indigo.
about co-opted information, and that is the problem to me. I can't give co-opted information. I need to get back to the source, and the source is not in Asia, right? The source of all of this doesn't come from out of Asia. The source of all of this comes from out of Africa. But then, like I said, everybody has demonized the African, right, into a place of savagery. But yet, all these sciences. I mean, when you read a book like this, here, "Capitalism is Barbarism," right? That's just one source, right? This is another source of where stuff comes from, right? You find that you go mathematics, architecture goes back into the earliest histories of Africa, and everybody claiming everything that they found after they got into Africa that, oh, we done this, we done that. The Asiatics never done anything outside of Africa. What did they do? I don't know. Like all everything that I find is patterned. So I have to go to the earliest pattern and find out the original source of everything.
Yeah,
So when I
yeah,
find that
Elder.
everybody is like Afro and out now instead of being real to themselves and say, and even when we go to the term African, I mean, how old is that?
I agree, Heli Griot. The European has lied to all of our people. You
But yeah,
know,
we take the lies as the
Brothers,
truth.
sorry. So just one moment.
they lied to all of us.
Yeah, just one moment, brothers. We have somebody new on the channel. I'm gonna be skeptical because the name says Terrence Khan, but um, the avatar. I don't know if it's a girl. Maybe it might be a young boy. I'm thinking maybe it's the same guy who doesn't appreciate me that much. I know his voice, so we'll find out. But
Uh-oh.
maybe it's not. So
Not hardcore.
let's introduce Terrence Khan. Greetings, Terrence Khan. You on the air?
Hi, Holly. Don't listen to these guys. They're Uncle Tom House niggas. They
Yeah,
love the white man.
yeah, yeah. This
Good
That's
is
brother.
that's the
just like Afro Asiatic has guest. It's the same brother who doesn't want to show his face, and
Why you ain't
he's into
filled with
the
hardcore, man?
you know
He ain't
no,
that bad. He don't be cursing and stuff. Shaka.
He just did.
but
Oh, he
the
did.
thing
But he just did. He very seriously done that just now to me.
no, but I mean every time I'm live streaming, he's coming with 10,000 usernames. To tell me, all kind of
What is it
stuff,
with
you
him
know.
though? Why is he hung up on? I mean,
No, I'm the
me and
no,
you, I battle with you with information, but
no, I'm the one who removed him from the panel because
right?
he keeps maybe you guys don't see it because you're busy, but I have to always block the username because he calls me a coon and all
But
kind of
I'm
stuff.
saying that was offensive just now.
Yeah,
Well, no, that was
He does
nothing compared to what he normally does.
no. I'm
But
saying
yeah.
to you is that
mm,
no, no. But I'm saying to you that he was saying to me he was supporting of me, but I'm not supportive of that language.
I mean,
Like like
No,
Afro-Asiatic, I think that that you are very deceptive with your information. Even though you say what you say, I still think you're very deceptive because I don't accept anything that is not African based. I'll put it like that there. Um, not that what I mean by African based. Um, 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 the earliest point of anything comes from out Africa, because the brother even mentioned the Grimaldi people that I learned about, right? Grimaldi, there's no such thing as Grimaldi people, first of all,
correct.
right? It's a place name. It's simply a place name. It's like
Yes,
people call me Bermudian, but I'm not a Bermudian. It's a place where I was born or a place where I was found, where it's a place where I happen to be. So no name that they give of skeletons or these artifacts of is mean anything except that's where they was found. Yeah, but like I said concerning the Dinka skull that you found that you said was found in the Levant, right? Like I said, through the burns, right? The Grimaldi's peoples was determined to be of African origin, in other words, that's used for the people that was found up in Siberia. It would be tropical people, yes, meaning African,
yeah,
yeah. So when I get all of these terms, like you said to me, oh well, the Asiatics came back into Africa, which I said, well then if they back came back, that means that's where they started out from.
that's right.
Yeah, but you say, oh well, but the long time being gone transformed. So hence we have up in Europe we have the what they call the Cro-Magnon, right? Because you said the Neanderthals is something different. Nobody has determined whether or not the Neanderthal would be black or white. That's not what people are saying. People are
I
saying that
agree.
the European has a preponderance amount of Neanderthal in him, and the African does not have a Neanderthal in him. I'm good with that there. But still, the question on whether or not there's black or white is still out there, is it not?
Yeah, West Africans do have some hominin DNA, but I don't think hominins were
What do you mean
monkeys or
hominian?
anything.
I said Neanderthal. What you talk about hominian? Hominian simply means I'm a man of man type of thing because I'm
Well,
Homo
in the
sapiens
data,
sapiens Homo sapiens sapien
they're
is not the same
classified
as
quite close.
Neanderthalers because all of them is hominoid.
Yeah, they classify quite close in the genetic data, the hominin and the Neanderthal. But the West African does carry some ghost DNA. You can look that up.
Of what?
Ghost DNA from the hominin.
Hell, wait a minute. Hominium is a general term. Everybody's got hominium
Yeah,
in them. The hominium is a general term.
exactly. That's what I'm telling you.
But but hominium and Neanderthals, hominin habilis, Homo sapiens sapien, all of them are hominoids. So
Yes,
I'm asking you, right? When you say that the West everyone says hominin, of course they do because everybody does.
yes.
It's a general term, but not specific to the term that will come after that.
Homo sapiens sapien.
Well, that's one term.
Hmm.
All of them have whatever species of hominoid you find, right? They all start out with homo.
Yeah.
Then they differentiate themselves. And
Then you
Homo
have
sapiens sapien is the most predominant nowadays, yes? Whereas the
yes,
other ones just have died off. True?
yes,
Okay, then. So that's what I'm saying. So you just for you to say to me that there's the hominin within the West Africans, of course there is.
yeah.
But you're not being specific now.
No, I said West African ghost DNA is hominin. They classify it very close to
Good.
what is called Neanderthal, but that is the genetic data. It's only a
But no,
touchstone.
to classify something very close to Homino, it was like we're very close to the baboon, yes?
Well, yeah,
Okay, then fine.
but we
Okay,
don't
brother.
come from no we don't come from the
Exactly.
baboon.
But-
That's not what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Okay.
Exactly. So
You
that's what I'm
said that.
saying. So you
That's
Bro,
not
can't
right,
use that.
Elder. Come on now.
That's what I mean. But you
That's
say you
not what
can't
I'm
just say.
saying.
So you can't just use the term. I'm very close to. So don't say they're very close to the Neanderthal because that doesn't mean anything.
No, I don't mean very close. I mean that there is evidence of genetic contact and interaction between hominin and Homo sapiens sapien, and it is in the
Hell,
genetic
you hell, hell,
material
hell.
of
You keep on
Africans.
doing the same thing.
I'm
You
telling
keep
the
saying the
truth.
hominium like it's a separate species.
No, not I'm not. No, I'm not.
You just did.
No, I didn't.
Because the Homo sapiens sapien is a hominium.
Basically, developed to another stage. Yes,
No. No,
yes.
no, 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 no.
It'll be the same thing if
No.
they didn't change.
No, 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 no. The Neanderthals hominin is a hominin as well.
Yeah,
Like all the skulls that they found, all the skeletons that they found, all of them are hominin.
they're just telling. It's just different types of black man, in my opinion.
Okay.
It's just different levels. It's just
Well,
different
at that point
stages
there was no
of
white people because
development
they was all
of the
found
black
in
man.
Africa.
Yeah, it's different stages of the development of the black man.
Okay,
But
there we go.
hominin could not have been a monkey type or anything like that because they made boats. They built boats, and monkeys don't build boats. But the European would have us believe that hominin was some ignorant gorilla
I
type
don't.
of
But
thing.
you're not talking. You're not talking to me. I'm not thinking about that there. I'm not thinking about. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
but
hominium for me is a general term, but they
yes,
diversify within whatever species that you can talk about,
All right,
and
brothers,
absolutely.
not and all of them have survived.
brothers, and I would like to leave the opportunity to for other people to
Go
either
ahead.
come in or
Sure.
participate in the chat. And I would really want to thank you. Actually, the live stream been going for like 3 hours so far.
Yeah, I'm got to go
You
to
did
see
not,
my children anyhow.
yeah, you did not come right at the beginning, but you probably came about half an hour from the start. So I guess at least for 2 hours we've been discussing.
Peace.
So nobody can say that I'm cutting you short.
No, 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 I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm good to go. Like I said, I just came in because you're saying nobody was in, so I'm good. Anyhow,
But it was good to hear from you, really. We have brother Afro Asiatic who is in New Jersey, America, and we have our brother who is from Bermuda, right?
Beautiful,
yes.
beautiful
But
thing.
Yes. And
go to
myself
visit the
located in
Takan.
France currently.
But you have opportunities. The only Takans I have here is the ones that the white people have created. Yes, and people
Mhm.
that they know nothing about them. I try to bring that history to black people, but they don't know
Mhm.
nothing about it. But that brother has an opportunity to go see one of the oldest things that stands in America.
I'm gonna go too.
That is the Takan of Tutmos.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, you
Thank
can
you.
And
go there. I found it, but
there's
I'm
more
sorry.
obelisk in Italy than anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, they steal them all. But
So yeah.
also, which I didn't know at the time. But next to that obelisk is a building, but it's a museum. Go in there and find something in there too, please. Something in there. I can't remember what it is,
Which
but it's
museum?
something in
Which museum?
really obelisk is or really Takan is, right? In New York City, in Central Park. Near there is a
Oh,
building that has artifacts in it.
well, it's probably the Metropolitan
No, 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 no,
Metropolitan.
no, no, no,
Oh,
no, 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 no.
okay,
That Metropolitan Museum's outside of the park,
Central
okay.
Park.
but this is in the park,
Right.
right? Near that tacking. And I saw the building, but I never went into the building. But since I've been home, because this has been several years ago, I've been to New York twice, and I went several different twice before, right? And first time I went, my brethren took me down there. He was a Bermudan. He took me down there. I was up in Harlem. I was staying up in Harlem at the time, 135. And then the second time I came with Chustic, an organization I was affiliated with. After that there, we done musical and all of that there, and we was on down on 35th Street. So I walked, I walked all the way up to Harlem. But before I went to Harlem, I went to see Sanada. But before I went there, I stopped to see the Tacking. Yeah, I could find attacking, but you go to Central Park, find attacking, but also find that museum that's there and find the artifacts that's in there, African artifacts, please, because I would got to go back and do some research. What I was looking at is something I saw on YouTube one time, but it was some very interesting stuff. But that tacking to me is extremely important because for black people, right, it's a contact to our ancient past, to our ancient greatness, so to speak. This long before any white or any European, anybody could, any Islamic, anybody of them. Tutmosis was long time before that. Yes, so all our sciences was intact. We had nothing added into us. Yes, this is the time that I want to deal with when we're looking at our history, our true history, because after that, there all the distortion started to happen when they came in and stole the correct records, yes, and fudged everything. I'll put it like that. But anyhow, no, Mahafab, thanks for having me still, man. I appreciate you, you know.
Oh, you're
Yeah, you're
welcome. It
doing
was
good work,
nice.
man.
It was nice to hear from you. Thank you very much, brother.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
take care for now.
yeah, and check out those books I was sharing you still, man. They're very important to read.
Well, I've downloaded the Anacalypsis, if I pronounce it correctly.
Anacalypsis.
Yes,
Don't
I've
forget the
downloaded that.
ancient and modern Britons.
Well, I haven't got into that yet, but I have my own list. I have hundreds of books already, so I only have one lifetime, and as and I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but I don't get no
Look,
support. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still reading, right?
So, mm,
I'm still reading, right? And that's just some of the, I got books here and books there. And
mm,
I said this is a very small library. I went to somebody's house just now. They had over 2,000 books, man.
mm,
Yeah, I mean, in the house is like, oh damn. And then, so yeah, I get what you're saying, but I just like I said, I just wanted to share that out because I think that's very important when
mm,
we're looking at certain things. But anyhow, bless
mm.
up, Hotep, much
Hotep,
love.
all right, take care, brother. All right, it was good to hear from brother all the way from Bermuda. Now, our brother Afro-Asiatic had to go, but he sent me first a private message, and then he also left in the chat. Hotep fam, sorry. Um, I'm going to go through the comments, and feel free if you want to leave some comments or if you want to make some statements. If there's no comments or statements, uh, comment statement is the same, but if there's no question or comments, or if nobody else calls in, then I guess I can call it a day because it's been 3 hours. And as you can see, brothers, after 3 hours, not a single donation. But hey, I'm just saying. Now we have Africanist World. Hotep sent Shaka and family happy solstice, more power, mad love, and balance for 2012. I don't know if it's the husband or the wife. They use the same account. It's been a long time. Uh, Karibu, habari gani? Mimi, oh, I'm forgetting that word now. Mimi nzuri. Asante na wewe. Now, Afroasiatic wrote, respect to Runoko Rashidi, love his work and sacrifice. We have, I forgot the name of the sister. What was the name? Catherine, I think. You have to consider who made the statues. The Renaissance was all about recreating history in the image of the European. Before that, they had the Black Madonna. Catherine also wrote, the Berbers are now portrayed as light skinned. The light skinned people are those descendants of North Africans colonized by the Greeks. The Berbers are not just portrayed as light skinned, they are light skinned. I currently reside in Europe, and there's plenty of Berbers. So that's what they are. And when I say light skin, I don't mean light skinned black people. They are white people, white skinned people, Caucasians. Not as light skin or not as white skin as French or British or Danish, though some of them are a bit lighter, particularly in Algeria. I don't know if in English you call it Kabylia, but the Kabyle people, a fair bit of them are quite very, very light skinned. A fair bit of them also are not Muslims. It's one of the reasons why, generally in Algeria, they're not really necessarily seen in such a good light because they don't share the consensus in terms of religion. But other than that, it's more or less all good. Now, because a fair bit of them are not Muslim, there's a few of them who eat pork. So either just not Muslim, that would be one thing. But the fact that they are not Muslim and they eat pork as well, you know, so it's not really seen from such a positive life or a positive light, not in such a good light. Um, well, Mr. Sharp came in the place to be, and actually, I'm already. Oh, there's a French speaker here, Eric Mirel. I don't know. Je pense pas que tu es encore là, mais salutations à toi. Bon, je fête pas Noël, mais joyeuse fête à toi. Jerry Larry wrote, Arabs can be all races. You just have to be a member of an Arabic speaking people or a citizen of an Arab speaking nation. I understand what you mean, but whenever I'm talking about Arabs, I'm talking about people from the Arabian Peninsula. Well, that's about it now. I went through all the comments. So thank you for those who tuned in. It's been really a long time, almost 2 months. Sorry, it was good to hear from you all. Stay safe, stay healthy. And if I'm allowed to by the nature, I will definitely holler back at you. Hotep. Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving medical nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video Kemet and Ma'at before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody is interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome, awesome, awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Neture classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn. and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how, involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge. No question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class. And all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medunetia class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/ma'atforever.